4 people waiting. All right.
There's
I
some
don't know
people
if you
waiting at your
lied. It said 4 people was waiting, girl.
Oh, hey
It
y'all,
said
if you're here.
it said they were waiting for you, but I don't
Um,
see it. It's still not popping up. Okay, now it's popping up. Okay, it just had to be muted
I
on my
heard.
end.
Okay, y'all. I'm Deidra, if you forgot me. This is Shade Tree Reads. Um, I have Bree from Loc'dBooktician, and we're just gonna chat a little and catch up on what I've been reading.
Yes.
I'm gonna wait for a couple. It's 2 people here, and I think one of them is you. So I'm gonna give people a couple minutes. Let me retweet it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I
You were like,
mean,
I think one of
what do
them
you
is you.
expect when you go dark for like 200 years?
Not 200 now. Come
I
on.
mean, I mean, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't have a big plan. I just know that I didn't, since I use my phone to record. Hey, Aaron, thank you.
Yes. See, look at your
Sarah.
setting. Look at that. That is beautiful. I'm a hater.
I just messed with I think it was the brand settings, I think. Hey,
Oh,
Jennifer.
okay. Jennifer, always here on
I
time. What
know.
up?
Appreciate it.
Sarah's
But yeah,
here. Aaron's feeling the scarf.
I know. I had to throw it on real quick. So I need to
Yeah.
retwist my hair. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go through my reads that I have had since August, June and July. I know I'm coming back. Don't worry. This is just like kind of a bootleg intro. I'll be
Not the
back soon.
bootleg.
Yeah, the bootleg. But yeah, I just have not wrapped up since I think June and July was the last time I did a wrap up video.
Yeah.
And I think the last video period was Black Aweenathon that I put on my channel. So hey Shamla.
Aaron. Aaron.
So we'll be back with a
I'm
lot of
ready.
content. And y'all gonna be like,
Yep.
dang, simmer down.
Yep.
Hey Chloe.
Chloe done popped in. What's up?
So have you been having a good reading month so far in December?
No.
No,
I haven't finished anything really. I have a lot of open books. So I think, as always, I'm not even lying. As always, this happens every year. So in January, it's always my biggest reading month every year because I'll
trying to
read like 30 books. I'll finish like 30 books that I started in December. And I'm also doing like other content. Like I got like 3 to 4 content things I'm doing each month next year. So it's like that on top of things. So I'm like, it's
got
gonna be
that
a lot.
planner working. It's popping. Planner.
I'm trying. I'm looking at it. It's looking real empty because I didn't put dates on it. I just put ideas. So
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
that is true. That is true.
I don't know if you're like me, but like for example, for writing a paper, it might be a topic that I'm really like informed on or excited about, but as soon as the teacher says it needs to be 1,000 words or 3 pages, my brain just shuts off
Shut
and I
down.
can only speak out half of what it is. So like when you set a date sometimes, that date, the anxiety kind of builds and it's like, you know, whereas you
Yep.
might take your time a little bit more and be more thorough if you're just working on an idea, but then you put that deadline on it and it's like it kind of sees up. So I'm trying to find a balance.
Yeah. What I've found to help what I found to help me with that is that I'll put the ideas down, right? And then probably the month before, I'll do like a batch recording. So I'll record like 6 videos, 5 to 6 videos at a time.
Yeah.
Make sure I have coffee and snacks in between, because let me tell
Yeah.
you. But
Yeah.
I'll do about 6 videos, and I don't know when they're gonna come out. But once I did them, they've been filmed. I'm like, okay, let's put a date on this. So
Mm-hmm.
then throughout the month, I can just edit and then caption and then be done with it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's if I put a date before I edit, I freak out before I even filmed it. I'm like, oh no, this can't happen. No.
I feel you. I mean, I get the anxiety. Like I have the ideas. I have books, or not books, but pages of ideas for days, and I have a few unedited videos. But then it's like it's something about a deadline that just really just. It's like, no, I do it when I want to do it, when it's right, and when it's done. I'm the Lauryn Hill of BookTube. I can't tell y'all
Not
what my
the
spirit
Lord
is.
Hill.
Yeah. I can't tell you when my spirit is ready, but like once I don't
No,
know
not the
how,
Lord
but once it's
Hill.
done, it's like I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this. But anyways, I should probably get started. Because I have a whole bunch of books to talk about. I didn't even tally them up because I didn't want to scare myself. But let me get my screen going.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see what you read that I read, but I feel like we talk almost daily. So what you
Yeah,
haven't read that I don't know about. So that's really
I
where
don't
I'm
know. I'll
at. Just
be
for y'all to know,
starting
this is
slowly.
tea.
Yeah, let's take a drink
This is
before we
tea.
get started on this journey.
This is tea for grown folks. No, I'm just kidding.
For real. Okay, so on StoryGraph.
Oh wow. Ooh. Is that your to read? Winter
Yeah.
Counts. Have you read that yet?
No, I found it on Scribd and I just never got around to it in November. But it
Okay.
is on my short list to read sooner rather than later.
Is that a buddy read for us? Because I got
Oh,
that book too from the library recently.
yeah. Let me write that
Cause,
down.
let me write that down too.
Yeah.
Oh, let me write that down too. Also, uh, I forgot what I was saying. I was telling Deidra before we got on live that I'm having some real life allergy stuff. So I took some medication, so I might be like looking a little loopy or a little slow. So I just want y'all to be aware of that. Um, None of these are pens. Not one of them.
Not one of them. Are they straws?
Not one of no, they're just markers. That's really gonna mess up the vibe.
Oh.
Oh, I don't
You got
want to call my
another like a random piece of paper?
yeah, I don't want to call my niece. She'll be Teeny Bree. It's right here. I
Yeah, I
swear.
almost want to leave this up on the screen just so y'all know what y'all working with here.
Okay. Winter counts. Got it. Um, Winter counts.
Forget
The
how to get
Lauryn
to
Hill of BookTube.
so my StoryGraph
Okay.
and then books you've read recently. We're gonna see all of these things. Um,
Oh, recently. I don't think I really, maybe they do. I did see that, but I just don't remember. That could be true.
I don't know. I'm gonna scroll till I get to the first book I have on my list here. And if you see a duplicate, let me know because I've noticed that the last time I imported this, I had like an alternate book cover or I had audiobook edition selected. And when I
Yeah.
read imported it, it duplicated some stuff. Some of it triple hit
Oh,
it. whatever that would be. But so if
that
you,
ain't right.
I tried to get rid of it because I was trying to make sure my reading goal for this year. Hey, Pearl.
Was accurate.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure it was accurate, like to start off once it goes out of beta, but it started to get to be a bit much. But we'll see. I'm trying to get to sector number 2.
I'm gonna put you on mute real quick because I'm gonna go live on Instagram and try to get people to come to because I put the link in my bio. So
Sweet.
I'm gonna just put you on mute.
I should have done that. Not you doing better. Oh, there's 2 duplicates right there.
You doing better.
Okay, so I think the cover that I read was does it have my shelves? So I'm gonna delete this one since it doesn't have my shelves and stuff. I'll just remove that. And same for this one. And we'll come back and talk about these in a second. I'm trying to get to far sector. Oh, it's a lot of duplicates. Duplicates. Well, see, this one, I for sure listened to this on audiobook. Wow, how far did I go back? I don't see some of my books. Let me keep scrolling in case they're out of order.
Yeah. So I don't know if that really worked, me going on live. Hey, Jada.
When you go what?
I'm trying to be on live and telling people to come to the video. The link is in the bio. Jada, Cabe, I see you. Go to the link in the bio. It says live or recent video, and we're live on YouTube talking about our recent reads since October. Okay? Swing on through. I'm looking at you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to have to switch to Goodreads because I can't find a lot of my books right now for a particular month. And I saw them the other day, but not today. I didn't look through this far today. I was trying to get rid of a bunch of duplicates. Anyways, let me get to...
Girl, this little lipstick is going to come right off.
Not it's going to come right off, but it's a cute color.
No, but I keep blowing my nose. I'm going to be out here like a half Marilyn Monroe with one lip done. One lip. One lip shout, but they don't start calling me in the book streets. I'm telling you.
Oh, man, I don't see... Okay, there's far sector number 1. I'm looking for number 2. There we go. Okay, I told a lie. An accidental lie.
Not the lie. What'd you say?
Well, I thought I couldn't. I had scrolled too far down, and I just went way too far trying to look for far sector number 2.
Wait a minute. I never heard of far sector. Is that something I need to add?
Listen, have you read that short story by N.K. Jemisin called Skin? I think it's called. It's in the
collective. Was it?
It's in a 4 series. Yeah, with Amazon. There's a bunch of different authors that are. It's a sci-fi series that they're doing on Amazon, and she did like either the 3rd or the 2nd short story, in the series, and it's like 32, 33 pages, and it's really, really good. And I think Kendall suggested this to me. And that's how I found it. So it's a Green Lantern series, or in the Green Lantern canon. And so this Black woman, which I've forgotten her name, but that's why we're here, StoryGraph.
Hello. Oh, who's the lady who did StoryGraph, right?
I'm sorry, say again?
You're talking about the Black woman who created StoryGraph?
No, I'm talking about the Black woman on the cover of the book.
Oh.
But there is the Black woman that created StoryGraph has an Instagram that I think I heard about from you, and I've been following her.
Yeah, one of the people in the live show put her name in there. Let me see. Jennifer, was it you? Why do I always feel like Jennifer coming with the information? Let me see. Let me Google.
I don't know why this. I don't know. I should have attached a link, and I'm sorry for being a bad YouTuber.
Lies.
You're going live for me. So yeah, on Instagram, trying to get people here. But yeah.
I was on Instagram straight flexing. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
Pop the antihistamine, I'm flexing.
Look, I'll drink the antihistamine.
That's why I always be feeling loopy every time. It's really not an antihistamine. It's something else. I'm allergic to antihistamines, but it's another type of allergy thing, but it always makes me feel like cloudy in my brain. Yeah. So I'm just like, don't look dumb.
The creator.
Stream. It's not StreamYard. That's not what we're looking for. StoryGraph. Okay. Hold up. Because it should have founded by Nodunanu. Oh, Nadia Odenayo. She sounds Nigerian. That seems like a Nigerian name.
I'm typing her at in here. NODUNA50.
Yeah.
And that's her at on Instagram, y'all.
Yep.
And then it's just the.storygraph for the StoryGraph itself Instagram page. So yeah, I found this comic by, you know how Kendall will suggest stuff to you?
Yeah.
And so they suggested this when I finished it.
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't know anything about Green Lantern, like literally nothing. But
I like the movie. That is where it starts and that's where it ends.
So yeah, I don't have much to say about this comic. I didn't give it a star rating because it's a single issue, so it's only a few pages, and I liked the art. I liked the writing because obviously. But I just didn't feel like I could give this a proper star rating. But I enjoyed it. And I think I got all the way to either issue number 3 or 4 before I stalled out on getting them. Okay. Because my library doesn't have these. I was buying the issues. They might have them now. I should probably look on Hoopla. But I was having a hard time finding those. And so after that, I read Sea of Monsters.
You're way far ahead than I am, but yeah.
Yeah, I read that, and I think this one is my favorite of the series.
Really?
Yeah, I think of the Last Olympians series. Is that what this one's called?
I think it's called the Olympians.
Yeah, the Olympians
is the last series.
Okay, yeah. So so me, Heather, and Shamla read this together as a little buddy read situation, and then we watched the movie together. I don't know if this one we watched together or if we watched it on our own and just commented in the group chat, but the movie is trash. They make choices that they have no business making because the book made the right choice in the first place. I think
I just feel really attacked. I love the
they
movie.
just make different choices that if they had to just visualize what was already there, then
Right. It wouldn't be so terrible.
yes, this
Yeah.
part has the movies and the music. Bless you. Okay, so from there I read Dorm of Love and Secrets, Volume 1. And this is another manga or another thing that Kendall suggested to me after reading Food Wars, that it's about this school that has low class and high class, and low class is like your slackers and just people who don't care that much about school, and they're just there because they don't get fined. And then the high class are like your people who really do care, or their parents make them care about good grades and such. And so they have a whole different class schedule, a whole different dorm. And so this main girl here, her dorm burns down and she doesn't really have a family. And so one of the basically RAs sees her outside crying and nowhere to go. And he's like, I'll let you live in the high class dorm if you promise that there'll be no love and that you'll follow the high class regimen.
Love?
Yeah. No love. Love's not allowed. We don't allow love here in this dorm.
You're right. That really is right.
And then he was like, you have to follow the high class regimen, and they dress different too. So like where their shirts are blue and then the vests are white for the low class, and then for the high class they'll have white vests and blue shirts or something like that to let you know immediately just in the comics, in the actual text, who's who and what's what. So he's like, you have to dress like that, you have to eat with us and all this, but you still have to maintain your low class schedule. You just got to put on 2 lives basically. And so of course she ends up falling in love with somebody in that dorm, and they have to keep some secrets together. I really enjoyed this. I was just like really surprised how much I liked it, because sometimes Kindle's suggestions can just be a little sus,
Not suspect.
Yeah, they can be. So I wasn't sure. I think I gave this one 4 stars, and I gave the second volume 4 stars as well. I read that in August too.
You read manga often?
I try to, because it's like romance for me. I can just speed through it. I don't get in a reading slump reading those. Okay. So if I need something to like get me motivated, or if I need like a small win, I'll read a manga or a romance novella. Okay. Or not even necessarily a novella. I'll just read a romance of some sort. If I need a kick in the butt or just like a little motivation to get some words read. Okay, so of course, everybody who's here probably knows that Ashley loves the Food Wars. And so she got me hyped for reading it. Now I think I'm on like volume 6 before I stalled out. We'll see in a minute. Or it might have stopped here. I think this is the last volume I actually read. And I gave it 3 stars. I think it dragged. I forget what's going on in this one, and I don't want to click on it in case there's spoilers.
I think it dragged.
Yeah, I think it just, nothing too big happened, and you could tell it was like a transitional volume to get something else big and exciting set up. And I don't remember that much, but I definitely gave it 3 stars. And I haven't read another one, so I'm gonna assume that's what happened there. I don't know. Those suggestions, I mean, they're hit or miss, and I always like to celebrate the hits. Kitchen Princess. See, I mean, I'm gonna I think I have it on my list too. We're just talking about you. Hey, Ashley. How you are manga pusher.
Go to.
Oh yeah. Get some food.
Food. What kind of food?
I know. Where are we stopping at?
Man, I don't know why I got excited about the food, but it's just one of those things, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, food. Oh,
Safe
on the
travel.
road. On the road. On the
Too.
road again. How I like to be on the road again.
Oh Lord.
Oh, trashy ass McDonald's.
She said it.
She said what she said, period. Hey,
Hey,
Emma Ray.
Oh yeah, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You really do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do it.
I ate me some black eyed peas and cornbread.
Oh.
Because I was like, I need something. I haven't eaten breakfast. I'm so bad. When I get nervous or depressed or something,
Yep.
I'm really bad about letting food be the first thing that kind of just goes. I'll drink coffee and smoke my cigarettes and sustain on that alone. So I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I ate some food, some actual food. I've been cooking and stuff. I just don't eat as often as I should.
What we cooking?
I made meatloaf for Christmas and mac and cheese and some yams. And I put I forgot to soak the black eyed peas, the dry beans or the dry peas the night before. So I put the peas in the water to soak Christmas night, and I made them the next morning. No, I put them in the water during the day on Christmas Day, and I soaked them all day, and then put them in a crock pot overnight. So that's what I had today. But yeah, okay. I'm bad about that. So
yeah, in New Orleans, I think I don't want to say only, but in my family and people I know, it's only. So we only eat black eyed peas on New Year's to solidify good luck.
Yeah, that's okay, so it's Bae's birthday on New Year's.
Right.
And he was saying that growing up, like his mom always made black eyed peas for his birthday, and he used to hate it. He likes black eyed peas, but he would hate that would always be his birthday meal. And so I decided we'll make them a little early. Okay. And then we'll do the greens and we'll do the other traditional foods, but I'll make him something else. I won't make him eat black eyed peas for his birthday. Yeah. Because I definitely have made black eyed peas and greens for his past birthdays. And this year, I guess he just had enough.
Yeah, you had to say what you had to say. He said, you know what you're not going to do is traumatize me with these peas.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. I made the black eyed peas, but then I ran out of steam on the cornbread. So I didn't eat the black eyed peas. And Bae was like, are you not going to eat these because you don't have cornbread? And I was like, are you saying you're going to make the cornbread? So he made the cornbread, and so I ate the black eyed peas.
Yeah, it really.
I know I could do the quick bowl. I could do it, but it's something about, and I wish I had a pressure cooker and I could skip that overnight soak too, but I like the old ways.
I ain't gonna lie, you can get a pressure cooker from the goddamn Goodwill for like.
Oh yeah, I know. I was looking for one last time I went. I saw an espresso machine. I have no need for an espresso machine, but I do kind of like the idea of being able to froth my milk in the morning. I didn't buy it. I was looking for a pressure cooker, but yeah, I was thinking it was $10. I should have got it.
I go into the thrift store and I forget that I ain't got it like that because I'd be like, ching, ching, mother, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Greens. I feel like greens is a part of my DNA.
Yeah. Um, I'm not looking forward to fighting people. If there's probably not even any greens left to go by at this point. So I waited so long.
Yeah.
Okay,
Really
let me go
struggle.
back to the books because I'm
Mhm.
still in August.
I'm feeling this.
Yeah, I also read Bitter Roots. I gave that 4 stars. I really, really, I think I also might have heard about this either from Chloe or from Ashley, maybe both. I probably heard both of them talk about this.
I'm
Um,
liking the horror aspect, so I think I'm gonna add that to my
yeah,
list here.
yeah. Let
That's what
me.
got me.
Yes,
Bitter root.
yes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
5 volumes. Okay, that's not bad.
How many volumes?
It says 1 through 5, right?
Oh, that's the issue 1 through 5. I was like, they got 5 volumes out. No, that's issue 1 through 5
Oh, okay.
in volume 1.
Mis-
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
No, but they have 2 volumes out currently, so you
So
could.
a volume have issues.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was like, I thought they were interchangeable, but that's a lie. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I don't have any single issue comics up here, but otherwise I will show you. So let me just pull up the blurb here because I think this is the best way to summarize. I was trying to get Ashley to summarize it without spoiling it one day, but I think really the best way to do it is just to read the blurb that comes on Goodreads and such.
I agree with you, Chloe. I hate, detest, strongly dislike, abhor. What are any other words that are synonyms to hate reading comics and graphic novels on e-readers? They are the worst.
I don't mind it because I use my iPad, and so it's kind of like a page size, but it took some getting used to. I do like being able to like double tap and blow up that one little box because
Yeah.
it's equivalent of.
Not the
But it did take. I don't like reading them on my phone for sure. I don't like reading them on my Kindle if it's a comic because I want to see the colors. But if it's a manga, I don't mind because it's black and white anyway. But
yeah.
for a comic, I'm gonna read it either on my iPad or I won't read it at all because I just don't like it real small on my phone. I don't like that.
Okay.
But that's how I haven't seen Bitterroot sold anywhere, and I think it's like $18 if I'm not mistaken. We can go
Oh,
to
they want
Bookshop
their
and see.
coin.
Yeah.
They want their coin.
Will it let me go? Let me see if I can stay. Oh, it's gonna make me go to another page.
Yeah. That's what I was having. It was like click, click, mug. And I was like, dang, y'all really coming at me.
Yeah, so just so you know, it's $15.62 for the volume, which is fine. It will go in my collection one day.
Just not.
I wanted to make sure I liked it first. And I think
Mhm.
maybe I want to have more. I think maybe I want it to be complete before I buy it. I think
Okay.
just for me, before I buy a physical copy of it. But I definitely read it for free through Hoopla
Okay.
if you have access to that.
Let's not
It
even
is.
talk about my hoopla situation. We've talked about it. It's not great. But I'm planning to talk my little sister into getting me her library card.
Yeah.
I'm like, help those who help you, and those is me.
Or you could just use her address.
I
And you
tried
have to,
to I tried to do that. It didn't work. We
okay.
talked about it offline. Didn't work for me unless I was just
Oh,
like super green and didn't know what I was doing, but it didn't work.
yeah. Saves my ass a lot of money too, Ashley. Like, because I'm always trying to. I mean, I think I just don't ever know what I'm gonna like. And so I do like to, now as I've gotten older and less space and hating to move a bunch of books, I make sure I like it for the most part. Now there's several books here that I haven't read yet, but for the most part, especially comics, and manga, I'll borrow it first. So we got Bitterroot, and then I read The Black Mage.
Oh, I like that one.
Did you read this one?
Yeah, I did. I like that one.
I read it too, and I've heard some criticism of it. Some
criticisms
of it that I don't disagree with, but I liked it.
Yeah, liked it. Agreed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books I like, and then I'll hear someone's criticism of it, and I'm like, great point.
Yeah.
Still liked it, but great point, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, moving comics and mangas is tedious.
Yes. Just moving books, period. They're so heavy, and you can't fit that. I mean, you can fit a bunch in a box, but then that box becomes super heavy, and it's just my books are upstairs. So it's just a whole thing.
Yeah, I own 2 manga right now. I just got.
Which 2 did you get?
I feel like I gotta go get, but I also feel like I'm doing.
Want to?
Shoot. One is Inspectray, and I forget what the other one was.
Okay.
And then I'm in the process of hunting down the series that I really want. I don't even know if you would call it a series in manga, but it's called Moriarty. Tokyo Ghoul. Thank you. That's the other one I have.
Okay.
I forgot, apparently. But I wanted to get Moriarty. So there are 2 of them out. But the third one is not available until March, which I'm like, no, because it's like Sherlock, and I like really want to read it. And then there's another manga that I can't find anywhere because everyone keeps saying that it's sold out or not in stores, and they're not really sure when they're going to get it. And it's called Erased.
Okay.
And I haven't found that one. So those are the ones I'm trying to read next year or start off with. I want to read more than that, but that's what I'm.
This one's asking what's my favorite, and I can't really say that I've read enough to feel like I can have a favorite. I can say that, to be completely honest with y'all, I read Food Wars and I read Fruits Basket, and I compare everything to those 2. I can't help it. I try not to. I don't think it's fair per se, but I can't help it.
Listen,
everything that I've read,
you're doing.
Yeah. I think Ashley has some of the fairy tale volumes. I feel like she hauled some of those over the summer, maybe. But yeah, I want to read those, and I want to read a lot of them. I just need to find them used or find them through my library. I don't know where else to look. Or Kindle. Sometimes they have them through. Well, they used to, not so much anymore. They used to have some on Kindle Unlimited. I have some, but not the ones that I was really hype about reading. Okay, so from Black Mage, I read Love Under Quarantine, which...
How did that go?
Huh?
How did that go with our girl Nicole?
I gave 4 stars. I gave 4 stars.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't read the rest of the books in the No, I read one other one, but I don't think I rated it because I didn't like it. So I didn't put it here, and I didn't mark it red because I didn't like it. And I don't like. I mean, it's not necessarily fair again, but I don't like to put out bad reviews for independent authors or like self-published authors. So if I didn't like it, I might not put a review, or I might not even mark it red. But I read another one in this series and didn't like it. But this one I did. It was about, I think the captain of the cruise ship and one of the other staff members, but like not a staff member where the power dynamic was off, you know? I think she was also like, they would be at the same staff meeting, put it like that. So, or, you know, executive meetings. Anyway, so they already had a thing going on, and COVID hit while they were out to sea or on the way back, one of the two. And so they had to quarantine on this ship, and things kind of go from there. I enjoyed it. I think this might have been the first or second Nicole Falls book that I'd read, and I really liked it. I like her writing a lot.
I feel like our girl really truly loves Beyonce. The 3 that I've read.
Yeah,
just like Beyonce.
She be about that Beyonce life. But I follow her on Twitter, and I think you're right. She's
obsessed with Beyonce.
She's a stan.
I hate that it took me to almost the end of this year to know what stan mean. I hate that. I hate this Gen Z out here trying to make me feel dumb.
Oh, I will write that down. Because that, and I've been looking for a source of K-pop, but I don't know where to watch K-pop. I don't even know where to start. So if y'all watch K-pop,
you've come to the right place.
Yeah. K-dramas, I mean. K-dramas is what I mean. If you have a source for K-dramas, hook your girl up. So this was Sword.
I would have to ask my little sister about that. She's all about it. I'm like the music, but she's all about
what's it? How do you stand in the K-pop world then?
J Park.
Excuse me, say it one more time for the people in the back.
J Park.
Okay, all right.
I just feel like he's here for us Black girls.
Yeah.
I feel like spirits.
Tarot Cafe. I have not, but it looks familiar. Somebody has that name on StoryGraph, and I started following them. Tarot Cafe. And that's where I'm getting confused.
There's a bunch of tarot cafes out there then.
Yeah.
People out here living their lives.
Okay. I'm going to get into it. Let me write this down before I go too much further. Okay, so yeah, it's Love Under Quarantine, and then that was all I read in September. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 of those were animated of some sort, either graphic novel or manga. So I was going through some things in August. And a romance. Yeah, so I was just reaching for something. In September, Shamla, Heather, and I read The Titan's Curse, which is the 3rd book in the Percy Jackson series, the Olympians series. I gave it 4 stars. I think I made this my least favorite when I ranked the 5.
Oh, I'm not ready now.
I mean, it's not bad. I gave it 4 stars. So I don't think I gave any of them less than 3 stars. I think I gave the second one 5, and then everything else was 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Tell the people what stan mean.
Stan is what I understand it as pretty much being like a super fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So people
that's how I.
Yeah.
If that's not the definition, that's how I use it. Mm-hmm. So
like people will be like, "Oh, this is a NK Jemison Stan account." It's like they mess with her in and out, warm day, cold day, medium tone day, whatever, all the days. they are about that Nora
Yeah.
Jemisin to be exact. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I gave any of them less than 3 stars, but this was my least favorite, and I gave it 4 stars. So to me, that should be encouraging. I don't know.
Live your life, you know.
I don't know. Shamla, let me look. Let me look in the group chat because we ranked them, and I think that's the last thing we talked about. Let's see. Heroes. I really want to know. Yeah, so I ranked them number 2, number 1, number 4, number 5, number 3. And like I said, I didn't give any of them less than 3 stars. So after that, I read Babysitter's Summer Vacation, the super special, not the regular special, but the super special, number 2. I remember liking these super specials because it had all of them in there. And Libby, they had just added it to Libby, and that show, the Netflix show, had just came out. And so I was riding the nostalgia wave, and I gave that 4 stars. I reestablished my least favorite babysitter. And I am excited to get back to those. I really would rather read all the super specials and just leave the regular series behind. But yeah, it is. That's the original story that I had, like where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bree and Nicole.
Yeah, me and Nicole from Who Picked This Book is going to be reading pretty much every novel that Rick has written.
And y'all start in January?
Yep. And we have live shows.
Put that that announcement link in the comments, Bree. And maybe they can, get in there with y'all.
She just called me out like that.
Put it in the comments.
Let us know.
Yeah, because once you get through that, but by the time you get through that, me and my little reading group will probably be way ahead. But we could always come back and chat with you, or reread, or watch the movies with you guys. So
listen, I just need you in the comments.
Yeah, I'll be in the comments.
And I wanted to talk to Nicole about like getting other people who've read it to come on with us. Like I think that would be dope.
Yeah, I would definitely have to reread because some stuff, I have forgotten since I've read everything. I've forgotten what actually happens in the books. I would hate to accidentally spoil you guys. So I would have to reread. But yeah.
Yes. Oh, Michelle, say less. Slide in that DM.
I was both, Chloe. I like the Boxcar Children and Babysitter's Club. I liked both.
Me too. Yeah. I was watching those on the low because I was like, do people want to? When was I reading Boxcar Children? Was it last year or this year? I can't remember.
That's the one by S.E. Eliot, right?
I can't remember.
Or is that The Outsiders? I forget. But Eliot was the one saying that they wouldn't have their work adapted to a graphic novel. Basically just dissing graphic novels as legitimate books, basically. But anyway, we don't have to go there. I'm going to drink on that note. We can watch the movies together and just have a good time dragging it because it's a mess.
Dragging it. And the thing is, we watched them like a couple days ago, and I was
so you've seen the movies?
And I was like, they're amazing, but I haven't read the books, so how would I know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I would know anything different. In my mind, they're killing it. Niche, you okay? You sure? Okay.
Yeah, he does.
I had to step
um,
out for the auntie duties.
yes. Um, yeah, yeah. Mercy. Yeah, I mean, it really is. Like you can really just power through because they're not that long. They're
Yeah,
like,
so I have so much stuff going on. Like
yeah.
Nicole can read, like Nicole, who is the co-host for the Percy Jackson and related series read along that we're doing, and it's going to be all the way into 2022. But she can read a book a day. Like it's nothing for her to
Yeah.
kick out a book. And it's not that, I just feel like I just can't put that pressure on myself. Like I would
Yeah.
like freak out. So I was like, we can't do that. So for the Olympian series, we're going to read half of the book every 2 weeks, and then we'll do a live show on those halves.
Hmm.
But the next series we're reading after that, sorry, which is the Kane Chronicles, we're going to be reading parts of that book every week. So that pace will be a little faster, but whew, I just got to start off with what I know first. I can't be
Yeah.
out here zooming out here in these streets. Like I just feel like I ain't there yet.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. You have to do what you can do.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did the Babysitters Club, and after that, because I only read those 2 books in September. Like I said, clearly I was going through some things in August and September because I didn't even pick up a comic book in September. I was like, fuck it. So then we went to the Dragon Republic, and I'm not sure if I'm okay. But I gave that one 4 stars.
Wow. Okay. I
I
want to
really
know
liked
more.
it. I'm
I
sorry.
want to I want to know more of like what you
Okay.
thought about it without spoilers, because I read 5 pages and I was like, I cannot. So I stopped. Not DNF'd it, but the Poppy Wars just destroyed me. It just took
Yeah.
me out to the street and whooped my ass. So then I
Done.
had to come back for another ass whooping, and I was still healing from the
Yeah.
ass whooping prior. So I said, I'm not going to continue this ass whooping. So I'm going to
Yeah.
take a break on page 5.
Okay. So, um, it is a lot. And I just really appreciate Kwong's writing because it never feels like it's gratuitous. Not to me, anyway. The violence
Yeah.
that doesn't feel gratuitous. It didn't feel like it in the Poppy War, and to me, it didn't. It's there, and if you don't like violence, you're not gonna like it. It's still war going on or whatever. So if you have a problem with that, then you won't like it. Um, but I really enjoyed the character development. Some of the twists that happened, I didn't see coming, and I was not as destroyed as I was after the Poppy War. But I do need to get my hands on the Burning God, and I could just read it via audiobook only, but I wanna put my eyes on it. So
Yeah. True,
I
true.
think you'll like it if you enjoyed the Poppy War. You'll like the Dragon Republic. I think it's one of the better second books in a trilogy. I liked it better than I liked um, the Obelisk Gate, to be honest. Like,
Really?
and I don't know if that's because I was in a less fantasy mood when I read the Obelisk Gate, or if it felt like a second book to me because I was bored for most of the Obelisk Gate. I can't even lie to you. I still liked it, but I was bored. And that's also the reason why I haven't picked up The Stone Sky, because I feel like we're going to hit the ground running because we did sort of, I wouldn't say a cliffhanger, but
No,
it's
I
clearly some shit's about to pop off in the
no, I definitely agree. While I
Yeah,
was reading the fifth season,
yeah,
the fifth season was my first, the Broken Earth trilogy was my first books I read by N.K. Jemisin.
yeah,
Um, but reading her books, I don't know about you, I kind of felt dumb because there was a lot of like words and it was high fantasy that I've never been introduced or read before. So I felt myself rereading a bunch of parts and not really understanding.
yeah,
But the fifth season, after I finished the book finally, I was like, oh, that was great. And then
yeah,
I got to the Obelix Gate. How do you say it? The old gate. I'm just going to say
yeah,
that. I'm saying it wrong.
yeah,
So I got to the old gate and I was like, what's happening?
yeah,
And then I got to the Stone Sky and I was like, oh, it got faster. I
yeah,
just felt like that second book was just like dragging us through it. And
yeah,
then we just got, shoved through the end like we should have gotten
yeah.
in the third book. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna pick up, and I'm sure it is. And I should have made a priority to get through it this year, but January will probably be when I finish that and go on to what's it called? The Inheritance trilogy.
Okay.
Did you read The City We Became yet?
I read The City We Became. I read How Long Until Black Future Month,
Oh,
and
that's
I'm
right.
on the second book in the Inheritance series and started reading a little bit of the Moon Killing
Oh
duology.
yeah, The
Is that what
Killing
it's
Moon or
called?
something.
The
Yeah,
Killing
I
Moon
have
or
that one. I just
something?
haven't
Yeah.
started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I hope my best friend is not in the comments when I said I started reading a little bit because we're supposed to read that together. So I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna pause back on that, and I didn't get too far, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened. Let's listen. I'm a Gemini. What do they expect? I'm reading everything.
I mean, for me, Shamla, I think that fantasy is just, it's not fantasy if I'm not confused a little bit. And probably like confused for a good part of the book. And I would say like sometimes it's like 40 to 50% of a fantasy book that I'm confused. So I don't think you're alone, is why I say all of
No,
that.
you're
Um,
not alone.
uh, Oh, I mean, it wasn't a bad book. I was just bored. I liked the writing. I just felt like it could have been shorter, and I felt like we could have like split it in half and gave a little bit to the first book and a little bit to the last book, and we'd have been all right.
You felt like the whole series could have been a duology.
I think it. Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I also, Chloe, if I'm being honest, I don't know if it's because I read it years ago. I don't know what happened. I got to review my notes in order to know what happened. So I feel like maybe it's just a thing that I need to reread because, I read that book when I was sick in the depression, living in Ukraine. It was cold outside.
Yeah.
So maybe that contributed to it as well. So.
Yeah, I think it was a timing for me for sure because I think the fifth season I read. If I read it this year, it was way in the beginning, like where it feels like it was last year, part of 2020. Like January and February feel like a whole different year.
Yeah.
But so I read it in February, if I'm not mistaken, and then I buddy read the Obelisk Gate with Sunny from, is it a Sunny Book Nook? I think is her channel.
I love her channel.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I know what you're
She's so
talking about.
creative.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's so different from what I've read from N.K. Jemisin. I don't think that The City We Became is a bad start. I'm surprised it's not my cat doing all of that. But I just will say that The City We Became is just, it's so different from the fifth season and what I know of the Inheritance trilogy that I can't compare them. I think it's a good start. It's a great book. I loved it. But you're going to get something different when you go back and read everything that she published before The City We Became, in my opinion. Hey, Britt. Okay.
I realized I was talking to myself on mute.
Oh.
I also think that I am ready for N.K. Jemisin to start making like full actualized books of some of the other stories in How Long Till Black Future, because you can't just give us one series.
For real.
Like, it just feels attackery. It don't feel right. It
Not
feels like,
attackery.
I just feel very attacked, and I felt like she bookfished us. Like,
Not bookfish.
she bookfished us. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna stand on it. She bookfished us, and I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah. Well, I will say that I read The City We Became before. No, that's a lie. I read the Valedictorian, which is that the one? No, The City Something Great is the name of it. The City Born Great is the short story in How Long Till Black Future Month that became the base story for The City We Became. Yeah. And LeVar Burton read this on his podcast, The City Born Great. And that's how I was introduced to this book, but that story in particular. And so when he read it, I was like, I have to pre-order The City We Became. Because that short story was just, it was so great. I just needed more. And I'm with you, Bree. I am ready for her to start just like checking off, okay, the Trojan Girl.
Right.
Done it. I'm ready for her to just.
There was one story in it that I was like, okay, we can keep that as a short story. And it was about the dragon the king who went and got the female dragon and ate her, then had 5 daughters who end up killing him or some situation. I'm like, okay, we can keep that as a short story. And the last story about Katrina and all the like things that was happening, I cried. I did.
Yeah.
But I feel like those 2 stories, okay, we can keep them short story, Nora, but you bookfished us and we want, our coin. We're trying to give you our coin and you really just not delivering for us right now.
Listen,
I love that one.
I didn't finish this yet. I stopped at I skipped over to the Valedictorian because I think LeVar Burton might have also read that on his podcast too, because I've heard it before, but I don't remember reading it. And then I stopped at like the 5th story. Just I don't know. I think I wanted to read something else, but I'm not a big anthology fan up until here recently.
I love it. I can't wait to do my video on anthologies.
I'm liking them more because it's a good way to sample a lot of different writers or formats or different genres even, and you can get a little buffet. I'm a buffet kind of girl, so
man, I do love a buffet, especially when they got popcorn shrimp.
My favorite is the crab legs.
Man, let me tell you. So there in Milwaukee, there is a casino, it's Potawatomi Casino.
Yeah.
And they have all you can eat crab legs on one of the days. I swear, me and my family be there just living our best, I swear. It's so good. I don't know if they still do it, but they had all you can eat crab legs and I was in there.
I don't know if they still do it either. I haven't been to a casino in a while, and I haven't been to one. The ones I've been to in Oklahoma are a little different from what I'm used to. The ones in Mississippi, you can drink, or like there's cocktail waitresses that come around to the games and stuff, or not waitresses, not necessarily servers. They come to the different machines and the tables and stuff and take your order. As long as you're playing, you pretty much drink for free and you tip the server. Oh. But in Oklahoma, you have to go to the bar. And so there's always a long ass line at the bar. And I'm like, I'm at the casino. I want to drink. How am I going to be reckless with my money if I can't get drunk? Let me tell you. So I don't have a good time at the ones I've been to in Oklahoma.
No. I have a saying that goes with my nickname, where it's free is Bree.
Yeah.
And I just really be trying to live that free, cheapest life. So when I go to the casino, I'm going to eat or to drink with a friend, and I'm going to gamble $1 because that's really all I can do.
I take 20. 20 for tips and 20 for gambling. And if I win any, it goes into the drink, you know? It's like,
I can't even do it. I just be like, I can't live reckless like that. I'll start crying. Like, it took $2 of my hard-earned money. And meanwhile, I'm buying other stupid stuff with $5. So it's just like, it don't even matter.
oh, no, I'm not doing, their buffets are RIP buffets 2020.
Man.
I won't be going back to a buffet.
RIP.
No.
RIP buffets 2020.
I'm sorry.
That is probably never coming back. We're never going to see another Golden Corral a day in our lives.
Not me, bruh. I might get it to go, but no, maybe. I don't want my food out being breathed on, you know? Does anybody go to a buffet and order off the menu? Who does that?
I don't know, because I feel like when you breathe, I breathe, just like that. Like
I don't want it. I don't want it. And I don't want to put it into go box and like trap the breath in there until I get home. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that.
What are you talking about? Oh, so funny. Trap the breath in there.
I'm sorry. I love
I was looking forward to the food. Yes. It is the food. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I went to a casino. I can't tell you the name of it. But because I don't remember. But I went to a casino and they had the best salmon I ever had in my life. I was like, what is this? Cryptochronolite?
Not cryptochronolite. You're so silly.
I said, they had somebody, grandma in the back working overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Listen,
Chloe, they have this franchise here called Furs. FURR' for a buffet. And I just don't know how I feel about a place where I get food called Furs. I'm going to type it out just in case my southern drawl got y'all messed up. But this is a restaurant. And I just
think you got hair all in the food.
No, I don't want to be looking over. I don't know.
So, they need to go back to the creative team and try again.
That's a mess.
Nope. Thou shalt not
bookfish.
It's 311. Thou shalt not allow your toenails to proclaim. I have said all of that.
They do have good steaks, and like if you go at a certain time, they'll make you a fresh one, right? Or the prime rib. That's good. It's good. But
everybody knows. So currently, right now, I'm eating. You can't really see it, but it's vegan pizza bites. They're like my favorite. They're good. I love them, but I would love a prime rib, but will my body love a prime rib? No.
I don't know. Oh, we were on the Dragon Republic. I'm going to keep it moving. We're in the middle of October now. No, we're at the beginning of October.
Is that what we're on next?
We're before Black Aweenathon, before the things I read for Black Aweenathon. So we have Legendborn, which I wrote down 5 stars, but I have since brought my rating down to 4 stars.
I need you to explain yourself.
Oh, I will. But I just want you to make sure you got something in your cup for this explanation. Oh no, this threw me off. It's not like a hunting lodge thing. It's just the name. And it took me like 3 or 4 years of living here before I went into the place because I was just so put off by the name. The food was fine. But anyways, let's get to Legendborn and why I have taking it down from 4 stars. Yeah, from 5 to 4. And it's because she's in North Carolina and there was not another Black person of her age in sight. Not one. And that was a choice. North Carolina, you mean to tell me there wasn't a football player, a basketball player, a sorority, a fraternity member, somebody in a cafeteria that they locked eyes with, somebody on a crosswalk, nobody but a teacher, counselor, therapist was the only girl and her daddy?
Listen,
and that
her best friend was a white woman. They went to the party. The book starts off with them going to the party to hang out with other white people. So what she was gonna find this brown person?
Bruh, on the sidewalk, in the campus, in the cafeteria, in the dorm. She didn't make eye contact with not another, nowhere in her atmosphere. So you telling me in North Carolina, this book was published in 2020. They have cell phones. You mean there's not one person, not her age? She didn't have a cousin. She had to have an Asian friend. She didn't have a cousin.
Seriously,
what choices that Tracy Dion made, I am mad about.
It was choices, but the cultural head nod was not a part of the story. She didn't have little Tavion on the sidewalk.
It was on a university campus in modern day. There was at least somebody that she could have made eye contact with. You could have gave me some Black sorority colors that she saw. She didn't necessarily have to go and say, "Hi, other Black person," but she could have said, "Oh, there's a sorority over there, and there's the red and white ones. I don't know what they're called because I don't read Greek letters. Or there's pink and green ones. I don't know." You know, there were ways to let us know that she's in the South of the United States of America, and there's another brown person around.
Listen,
other than her daddy and a teacher. And
I hate that you're trying to bring it like modern day, like into every aspect.
What you mean? I'm trying to bring it. I didn't write it. I did not write it.
No. Because even Britt out here talking about some, but what kid in the South is going to party for that reason?
I didn't write it. And so for my enjoyment, I didn't appreciate it because it didn't seem realistic. I mean, yes, it's a fantasy book. It's a YA fantasy. But the choice, like, there's such a thing as a white savior trope. And without giving spoilers, there was a way that Dion sort of tried to not have that be the case. She sort of tried to make that not be the case. But like, I'm serious, as a Black woman, I'm not walking anywhere on the campus, especially if I'm at a predominantly white school. And the University of North Carolina it's a predominantly white school, but it's not all white, like in the way that we might have a Howard might be, or Yale. Not Howard, I mean Harvard.
I will say this.
But you know what I'm saying?
I will
and then
say
another thing that Bree, that was her name.
Can she hear me?
Oh, what you say?
Oh, I was like, can you hear me?
I can now. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I was like talking, and then I was like,
sorry. I did not hear you talking.
It's okay. So I will say this. I agree with you. It was white savior complex all up and through that thing. And I hear, Britt saying like, and it was Nick, and I still don't trust Nick for a lot of reasons. But I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this is going to be remedied in book 2, because this is the reason why I said this. So a different author, this white woman, I'm trying to remember her name, Renee Audier, she wrote the Damn series, right? So it's like the Beautiful series. So it's the Beautiful and the Damn. So when I read the Beautiful, I was like, and this and this and this and all of this. And then I read the Damn, and all of those answers, like most of my questions, was answered in book 2. So the things that I was just like, they don't really seem right to me, I was like, let me chill, because maybe it's going to be remedied in book 2. But I do agree with you. I was ready for her to have some classmates who she did a study group with that was melanated. I was ready
I was just wanting her to give eye contact to somebody.
Yeah, I was,
A
I was ready
basketball
for.
player that she thought was cute. Like she just didn't see nobody and only had eyes for not. Well, she didn't have anybody to.
But
She didn't
isn't the
have an
other
option.
dude?
It didn't seem like she had an option to be attracted to anything, but not
But isn't
like
the other dude melanated? Or
which
it's
one?
like the Nick, the mage guy. What's his name?
Sale?
Zell. Yeah, wasn't he a little dark? Am I making that up?
Are we talking? I mean, he may be, Bree. I guess my point is that if he is, I can't definitively say that right now. That's probably because of me, because I don't have headphones on. Somebody said there's an echo. But yeah, he might be melanated. I don't know. I didn't catch up on it. I didn't catch it. Nothing let me think that he was. Nothing let me know anybody but Bree and her father had. And Patricia, I think was her name, the counselor. Yeah.
I didn't like I go back and forth. Like I didn't like Bree's best friend.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't like. I mean, see, and to me, it was a choice to make her best friend an Asian girl. Like, you mean to tell me? It's nothing wrong with. I liked her. Well, I didn't like her best
oh
friend.
my God, she
Her
was
best friend
Asian.
can catch these
I was
hands.
thinking she was white this whole time. Damn. Yeah, I missed that. That.
Like, but I mean, see, to me, that was a choice, and I had that same problem. Well, I didn't have that problem in another book that came out this year, and it's also made me reflect on that book and another book that we'll talk about in just a minute. I'm trying to make sure I don't get too far behind on comments.
Yeah. I mean, I also felt like it's no shade to Tracy Dion at all.
Yeah.
I also felt like maybe she felt like though she had to have more white passing or more acceptable skin color characters for it to be, seen and recognized in the way that other stories are recognized. Did that make sense?
I think I know what you're saying. I just don't give Tracy Dion or any author in 2020 that kind of pass because
no, I'm not looking at it as a pass, but I'm saying maybe there was a reason why those were maybe it was a reason that those intentional choices was made.
I mean, to me that makes it worse. But
I mean, I'm not saying it makes it great either. I'm just saying I'm just trying to think of a thought process of someone I don't know based on what I've seen and what people talk about. Because people have talked about how they have to change things in their stories in order for it to get sold. You know what I mean? Or for
to see an interview with her. I actually hadn't looked it up because I'm still marinating. Like, I think I've gone back and forth on this one and Ray Bear like 2 or 3 times now on my rating.
On Ray Bear? Oh my God. That's a solid 5 for me. I can't even undo it.
Listen, and it's for different reasons entirely. But I still sort of compare them. They're nothing alike. These books are nothing alike at all. Aside from them being YA fantasy, they're nothing alike. And I got completely different feelings from them. But I have been thinking about them for a while. And I'm going back and forth on my ratings on both of them, but like I said, for completely different reasons.
Oh, I just want to point out, I like your updates. I need to do that for my books.
Yeah, some of my shelves have been importing in and some of them won't.
Yeah.
So if I don't have them in a shelf, I think it gives you that little, let me see if I have some without a shelf.
Oh, also something I want to point out in Legend Boy. There was a part of the book where...
to 5 stars, Bree.
Huh?
You gonna fight me until I change it to 5 stars?
No, this is a critique.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry. I can critique something and also love it.
Oh no, me too. Me too.
So there was a part where shit went down and we found out, some shady shit about Nick's family, right? You following me?
I'm feeling you.
for me as a Black woman, if I was dating a white person, I don't know if I could get past that.
I know I couldn't.
I don't know if I can get past that. So I was just like,
It's not their fault,
no.
but I don't
I
know how
know
I
it's
could
not their
ever.
fault, but it's like, how do you get past that?
I mean, to me, that's something that I have to think about with white people, like dating and relationships, period. Like, not even relationships, but dating specifically. Like, what's in the closet? Like, I don't want I just something I worry about and think about because I know personally for me, I couldn't get past it if something like that were to come to light. So,
yeah, it's just it's hard. Like
it's hard, man. It's hard.
I just feel like, it's really hard when you're not even like in this sense it's interracial Black and white.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's hard when you're blending two cultures because you don't know the secrets that may come up and how strong are you in your relationship. And even if you don't have the cultural aspect, I just think communication is key, and just always communicating with your partner because you don't know what they family got, like what's happening over there on that side. So that just scared shit out of me.
It's something to think about. It's hard to you gotta have a really strong foundation to work past that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Red Bear was not compromising in that way at all, Britt. At all. So yeah.
I mean, I didn't dislike Nick. I'm not trying to say that. I don't know if I don't dislike him. I dislike I distrust Sel more than anybody. For most of the book. I mean, I got his reasoning and all that, but I just didn't like how he just recklessly was talking. His mouth was too reckless for your girl.
He was definitely reckless in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
and then it changed for me. It was a change for me.
He did eventually get on my good side, but for me, like that first impression is a lie, and then like you show people who you are in the beginning when you're just talking. Like I get that, trust is earned, but at the same time, so is respect, and it goes both ways.
Man. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to tell Zell. I wanted to tell Sel, that was his name, Sel. I wanted to tell Sel to catch me outside. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 combo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought maybe Nick was maybe a year older than Bree because he was like a mentor. I want to say maybe he was an actual freshman.
I thought he was older than her for sure.
Yeah, he might not be. He might be 2 or 3 years older.
Yeah, I thought at least 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I think it was like 2 different stages you can be in at that school, and it was a 2-year difference, and he was in the second stage.
I don't know if the token Black character can be the main character, but we should talk about that one day. I
mean, it did give you some token vibes. For sure. I'm not gonna deny that at all. It also gave me this whitewashing feel at sometimes. I wanted her dad to be more tougher, and in certain parts.
I wanted her to have an actual friend. And I would have liked for that person to be Black. Like that girl that was her roommate.
I told you she was awful. I told you.
No, I didn't like her. But, she needed a friend. She didn't have a friend. I don't think. She didn't have a friend. What I would consider a girlfriend, or just a friend. Even just a girlfriend, because there's something about that. She didn't have it.
No, and even the scene about the hair.
The hair! That was the other thing that made me mad, because it was something about the way and the often, or the frequency with which she would wash her hair, and the care with which, the carelessness with which she, we're not going to the beach. We're not getting our hair wet. We're not going through the mud. We're not doing that. We're worried about it. We're talking about it. We're saying it out loud. Oh no, my hair, and she messed up her hair, and then she would be like, well, I gotta wash my hair. And it just felt unrealistic, her relationship with her hair. I didn't like it. So that's part of why I brought it down, because I kept thinking about it. Like, she washes her hair every other day, ain't it?
You were not clocking how often she was washing her hair, Deidra. Please tell me.
But when I got through with it, I said, damn, I should have made a tally mark every time she washed her hair.
Not the tally mark.
Let me see if I did. Hold up, because it really bothered me. No. So the way that I have started kind of annotating my books, especially ones I own, is I'll write the name of the book on one side, and then I'll either make myself a little legend where I'll put the names of the characters, and then if I highlight stuff, I'll put my tab colors and what they mean, or what I'm trying to highlight. So I would, if I were to do that, it would have been on this bookmark, and I didn't do that. But it definitely crossed my mind, and all the times that I've spoken about this book, I brought it up. Like, if she had a black friend, maybe wouldn't have to worry about. Like, did she go to the beauty shop? Like, bruh.
I didn't hear her talk about lotion in her routine.
Lotion, Vaseline, no grease. I don't. It's just things were missing, and I noticed. Let's see.
I thought they were all intentional. So just like, should I put more stock in this? Like,
I wanted to. I really did.
But you can't help it when some really don't strict,
it just didn't sit right in my spirit, Bree. I swear. But I still gave it 4 stars. I kept going back between 4 and 5 stars. So.
Oh, I thought you were like, I'm voting it 2 or 3. It's a 2 for me now.
Not a 2. Oh man. If I remember. Yeah, I think her name was Alice.
Alice made me wonder, because she just kept snitching.
She was not a friend. She was not a friend.
She was Madam Snitch-a-lot.
They knew each other, but I did not call her a friend. Not Bree's friend. She might have been her daddy's friend, but she wasn't Bree's friend.
She wasn't loyal.
Yeah.
She wasn't loyal. And then she tried to save her. I was like, hey, not everybody deserved to, no, just kidding.
She don't want to be saved, Bree said. Okay, I'm looking for the Battle of the Labyrinth now.
Oh, let me love you. Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. That's the
next. Hey, the novel Lush. How you doing?
Lauren, oh my goodness.
Yes, hey. Lauren,
for sure, she was Madam Snitch-a-lot. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren, what's her daddy's friend? She wasn't Bree's friend.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I'm talking over you.
I said, fun fact, Lauren is the first booktuber that I ever subscribed to.
You know what? I think she's the first one that I ever noticed. She was dragging somebody. About
it was a drag with mine. I was watching. But she's the first Black booktuber I ever followed. And then I found others, but yes.
I think me too. Me too.
Somebody was being dragged. She had wine and she was not messing around. And I was like, it's happening.
I wonder if this is an American thing, because for sure we were powdering and we were Vaselining our whole bodies.
Yeah.
And we were going to get our hair done.
It could have been. I felt like I was so glycery. You can see
all the time,
me
all the school pictures,
Mars.
Forehead just like
shiny. I swear, I felt like if I made the incorrect move with my sandals on, I was gonna slide down the street.
For real. Oh man. We're good. We're being silly. Okay. Yeah, see, we're in here dragging. We're dragging. The friend. Okay. For sure.
Sure.
like, did you have problems? Like, I don't know how you wore your hair, if you had a relaxer, if you had natural hair, if you had locks. But for me, especially when I was a kid, I had a relaxer. So washing my hair too often, especially now with my natural hair, it's damaging to wash it too often, especially if you're using shampoo.
Yeah, and I had a and it depends on your curl pattern too.
Yeah.
Like, are you like a 3A? I know people who are 3A wash their hair more often than people who are 4C.
Yeah.
But when I first was natural, when I shaved all my hair off and I had, that TWA, teeny weeny afro, for those of us who don't know what a TWA is, I washed my hair every day until it got a couple inches longer.
I think I probably, when I have relaxed hair, maybe at the most I would do once a week, because my hair just didn't like being straight. And so I didn't know that at the time. So I was trying to do stuff to it that you had to wash it for. But as a natural, I probably co-wash, I don't know, every 4 or 5 days. If I was exercising more or sweating more, I probably would co-wash them more often. But like with shampoo, I don't do that very often at all, maybe like 2 weeks. I'm just saying, these are thoughts. I guess my point was, these are thoughts that as a Black woman doing activities, or as a Black girl in college, or a Black person even in high school, exercising with relaxed hair, I was thinking about my hair. Oh, I don't want to sweat because my hair. Oh, I don't want to get in the pool because my hair. Oh, I don't want to because my hair. So
because it takes so long to do it, man.
Yeah.
A twist out don't happen like that.
No.
That's a day of prep.
Some people's hair, it takes, a while to do. You got to detangle, you got to shampoo, you got to condition, and you might have to sit under the dryer for a little bit for the conditioner. Then you got to style it. And it's a whole thing. And I just felt like something was missing in how that was related to us. And the environment that was created was lacking because of those things. But I still enjoyed the book. I'm going to say something about that. Okay, so The Battle of the Labyrinth was number 4. And I gave that 4 stars. It was good. Yeah, see, I live in Texas now, and that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm natural, because it would just be so messed up all the time. Like, my hair is a mess now just because I didn't have the energy today to twist it up. I didn't.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So like my friends who are like from Jamaica or Trini. I mean, my dad family heritage is Jamaican, but that's pretty much all I know. I'm not culturally connected in that way. But what I've learned from them is that they wash their hair way more than I do, and do just different things. But I agree with you when you were saying that you think it's an American thing. But yeah, I think it also depends on where you live. Like, when I lived in Ukraine, I couldn't be washing my hair once a month like I do in, when I live up north now. So I can't be washing my hair just once a month when I was in Ukraine. I had to do it every day. And not every day, sorry, at least once a week, because it's so like sandy and dusty, and it's just like all in your hair and everywhere. And I was like, nah, that's gonna be a no for me. So that had to change. So
yeah, I mean, definitely my routine is different here than it was growing up in Tennessee, because it's not quite as hot. It still gets hot and humid, but it's not as hot as it is here, especially during the summer. So yeah, I mean, it's all about your environment, and also, it's just something that I noticed, and that's how books hit you different. And some people, it's like that's nothing. And it's just like, I think it was another book. I read it last year, The Stars and the Blackness Between Us. All the people who are Trinidadian that have read it or are
don't like it.
that I follow, they didn't like it. A lot of them didn't hardly finish it. And I love that book. Like, that book rocked my world. It changed my life. And so it's just a cultural thing, and we have to acknowledge those things, I think, and just not try to like shame anybody for picking up on it or not picking up on it and still liking the book, or still liking whatever it may be, unless it's like a problematic thing. And I think that's what a lot of the people were saying about that, is the language that was being used was problematic in that it was inaccurate and like a little bit harmful. So, and I will never say, oh, I liked it, so it must not have been that bad. I would never do that or say that. People's feelings are valid.
Yeah. True.
Yes. You will get sunburn on your scalp if you're not careful.
I didn't even know that until today.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have locks, it's a whole different thing. Like, you really shouldn't be putting any products on your hair. So I can't put coconut in my hair no more when I was a loose natural. I can't put shea butter in my hair anymore when I was a loose natural, because that should stay stuck in there, and then I'm out here looking like I got dried up bacon grease, just chicken chilling in my locks. It's not a good look. It's not bringing the boys to the yard for sure.
So okay, so that was that. I read Kinte. I think I passed it. There it is. It was a graphic novel that I just happened upon on Hoopla. Did I give it? I gave it four stars. This one's about. Let me just pull up the synopsis real quick. Oh,
you said it's called Kinte? Where that's at?
Quincy, like Quincy.
Oh, Quincy. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't even see that.
I'm so country. I'm so sorry.
No, I can see it because there is a book called Kinte that I want to read. So I thought it was the same book.
Oh, what is it about?
It's I was gonna read it because I ghostwrite for my friend's blog, so we were gonna read it as let me find what it is. So that's what I thought you were saying. Let me see. I had to go on Goodreads, so give me a second. Okay, my bad. It's called Kin 2, but still, I was thinking about that one.
Yeah. So this
it's by
one, Go ahead.
Oh, it's by Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi.
I feel like I've seen the cover.
Yeah, it's about like a Ugandan history of a cursed bloodline of the Kintu clan. So I was like, what? Yes. And it was translated, I think. So,
that's nice.
Yeah.
So this one's just a quick comic book about this girl. I forget her name here, but she comes into some powers. Lupe. She comes into her powers on the night of her 15th birthday. Or maybe a year up until her 15th birthday. I can't remember which. But she starts fighting crime at night because she's got these powers. And then but really all she wants is a good birthday party. And it ends up being a story of how that all goes down. I really liked it. It was a surprise. I like when I just happen upon some stuff.
And you're like, it's good.
My hoe just came in for the world to see. So yeah.
I thought you said my hoe just came in.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I like this one. If you're looking for like a starter graphic novel, I would pick it up because it was cool, and I enjoyed the art a lot.
Okay.
This one was, now we're into my Black Aweenathon reads. This was If You Come Softly by Jacqueline Woodson. This was my diversity read. I forget what the prompt was exactly, but that was.
I like how you marked when it's owned. Like, you are really thorough, which I need to.
I was trying to do this yesterday before.
Yeah, I should be doing this with you. I'm going to pull up my StoryGraph. Let me do it, because I was like, wow, you're just so impressed. I'm like, oh my God, look at her go.
Let me put this comment, because I was certainly think I read it, but I didn't click on it. Yeah, that part. And I don't know that that's Janata Petrus's deal, but almost it was like unanimous with people from people from the Caribbean who read that book just did not like that part of it.
Yeah, I tend to. There's a lot of because there's a lot of Jamaican stories I want to read.
Yeah.
So I follow those reviewers on BookTube and on Bookstagram, and I'll be like, I trust them. So I'm just gonna do that. I be feeling like I'm unreliable.
I want to read this one for sure, which is Steeped in Gold. I haven't pre-ordered it. I think it comes out in January. And it may not come out in January. It comes out pretty early in 2021.
Yeah, there's also some giveaways on Twitter.
Yeah, and maybe I'll enter a giveaway. I don't think I'm going to pre-order it though. I'm worried. I'm going to read that author's note.
It wasn't just me.
Yeah.
I don't get how you can do that.
I mean,
but people do it. Like there's
all the time.
There's this book about Ukraine that someone wrote, and I was like, this is garbage. I'm trying to remember the title of it. When I do it, I'll let y'all know. But I was just like, who wrote this? And I think it was like an American who went there for like a couple days and was like, let me write about Ukrainian culture. And it was awful. And it was like so terrible. And I was like, this is garbage. Couldn't even finish it.
This is the tea that I was just thinking about. I mean, just speaking about Brit.
That's coming out. And I was like, maybe I'll pass.
I mean, sometimes you just read something and it just rubs you wrong, you know, and
right.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Sometimes you have a reason for it, sometimes you don't. And
you don't always have to explain yourself either.
No.
So.
Yep.
Even though I was like, explain yourself.
Yeah. Damn it.
I'm sorry about that. I just want to talk about.
Don't apologize, because I've been dying to say that on the internet. I've just been talking with my people who've read it and just like, did you notice such and such? And they were like, yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. Okay, so we're talking about my intersectionality read for Like a Weenathon. I don't know where I put it, but this one is about these two characters. On the cover there, they go to a private school, and they just sort of they like each other, and bless you, and they are aware of how the world looks at them, and sort of they sort of talk about just stuff that they have in common, and also the fact that the world looks at them a certain type of way. And it was an emotional book. I gave it 5 stars. It was my first Jacqueline Woodson read, and I've since acquired 2 more by her, and I really enjoyed it. Her writing is just beautiful, and I can't wait to get more read from her backlist.
Okay.
Yeah. That's This was another one that I had a duplicate from Goodreads for because I had an alternate cover. This thing is just going off. I had an alternate cover for it, and so when I import or exported, whatever it was, I forget which way, but whenever I got my Goodreads books over here, it duplicated like 3 times. It had an audiobook cover, then it had this cover, then it had whatever the original cover was.
Yeah. I mean, Yannick, I definitely agree with that. It just, so this is just me, my little spiel. I'll make it quick. So for me, when you're writing, if you are not from culture X and it's a culture that's different than yourself, and you're writing about someone else's culture, I feel like language is the utmost important thing. And it's also the hardest thing to translate. Because I think a lot of times when you are learning another language or trying to immerse yourself in another culture, you are still viewing it from your cultural lens. So that is just something that's very hard to break and very hard to put on paper for other people. So when people of culture X read it, they're like, what is this? Because it doesn't translate to how things naturally are and how things naturally occur in their culture and in their language context. It's, for example, it's like when I'm speaking Ukrainian, even though I speak it well, I still use sentences set up in English when I shouldn't. And I shouldn't, because it doesn't make sense to Ukrainians. And I always have to like backtrack and like really mess my head up or try to figure it out to say it to a way that makes sense for them. So if you're not fully understanding the language first and how it's coming across to them, how it's being infused, and the way that they set up syntax, sentence structure, all those different things, it's not going to come across authentic at all. So that's me and my spill. I'm over of my TED Talk.
For sure. Like, I mean, it's just something that, like, if we're just talking about slang words in the US South, they're different. They're different in Mississippi. They're different in Alabama. They're different in Georgia. They're different in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. We might have a shawty, we might have a main, we might have bruh, we just have different, or John, which I don't like that one, but that's like Detroit.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. I mean, in Louisiana, we use bae for a lot of stuff. Bae can be your sister, bae can be your dad, bae can be your bae, so like bae is definitely interchangeable. So.
And you can tell when somebody is from a certain region. We're just talking about slang, so all kinds of.
Can I ask you a question about your StoryGraph?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. What's up?
Did you type in 4 stars?
Yeah, so like
okay.
Let me just buddy read. We could do this. You just type it in and it'll make it a shelf and it'll show up next time.
Oh, okay. I was like, what am I doing in life?
Huh?
I was like, what am I doing in life that is just not working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that was If You Come Softly. Shamla said she'd read that. Read that middle school. It was so sweet. It's definitely a YA. They're in high school, the characters, so it's definitely a YA book.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's definitely not letting me make different things.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Let me find one that doesn't have any shelves and see what I did. Because I had shelves established from Goodreads. And so when I edited,
yeah, it's like, nah. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I realized I had to wait till it popped up before I did it. And I was like, is it because I'm tall? No, I'm just kidding. I tell my niece that all the time. She's like, what, T. Bree? I'm like, did you not give me some because I'm tall? Well, I'm going to figure out the reason. She starts laughing.
Do you remember off the top of your head what all the prompts were for your I know it was a Black witch, intersectionality.
It was fantasy,
Okay.
witches,
Okay.
intersectionality, James Baldwin,
Yep.
mystery, historical fiction.
Okay. I think I still don't remember why I read Bayou Magic, but I definitely read it for your your readathon. But I don't
I
remember.
think Mermaids was in it too, if I'm honest.
Say again?
I think Mermaids was in it too, if I can be honest.
Yes, there were. That's what it was.
Mhm.
That's what it was. Intersectionality, and then this one was the water beans.
You said butter beans?
I said water beans.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I love butter beans now. Okay.
There probably was. There was gumbo for sure when they first got to town. So this one was about this little girl. She's like the youngest of 2 or 3 daughters.
Okay.
And it was her summer to go and visit grandma and grandmere. And so she goes to visit her grandma who lives in the bayou in Louisiana, and she proceeds to have a magical summer, learning about the bayou and learning about basically root work that her grandma is into, and just it was really good. I really enjoyed it. There's something that happens that she has to help save the bayou from, and I just thought the way that whole thing went was just magical. Highly recommend that. I think I read that I had an audiobook as well, and I enjoyed the narrator on that.
Yeah. I definitely wanted to read this book because I think it was in Ashley's Mermaid Project video.
Yes.
But I couldn't find it, like at my library in Libby.
You couldn't?
No, I don't think I could find it. There was just books I couldn't find. I was like,
I had the audiobook and I borrowed the physical copy from the library. But it was good. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it to middle grade readers.
Okay.
And it's like really short chapters too, so it was a super quick read. So we got Bayou Magic. Now, The Year of the Witching.
Oh.
I made a mistake.
Wait, did we talk about the book before that? Or am I?
Sorcerer of the Wild? We will.
Oh no. Okay, sorry. I was confused.
I'll put both of them.
Go ahead.
No worries. Okay. I read this as the Black Witch. I did not read the synopsis. I had just kind of fallen in love with the cover and the title.
Yeah.
And I just read it. And I should have read the synopsis because I would have known that this book was not for me. I loved Henderson's writing. I really did. I loved it. And the whole time I just kept thinking, I wish this book was about literally anything else. Because I loved her writing and I enjoyed the audiobook. And I don't enjoy reading about religious, like pseudo-Christian organizations in a fantastical world. I just don't enjoy it. And so I gave it 3 stars. But literally, if it had been about anything else, I would have loved this book. This would have been my favorite of the year because I really like her writing, and I won't read the rest of the series just because now I know what's happening, and the ending made me mad.
Mm-hmm.
But
why did it make you mad? Why did it make you mad? Did you want more?
I can't tell you why. I'll tell you in the DMs.
Okay.
It's definitely a spoiler. But Once she finishes with this, I will read anything else. It's just the subject matter. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't enjoy it. And
Okay.
so, but I love her writing. Once she's done with this, she might be an auto buy because that's how much I liked her writing. This book was not for me. And I didn't enjoy that she was the only Black character in the whole book as well. So
it's something to think about, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, I didn't mean to smack like that. I need a drink. Mouth is dry.
I didn't even hear you. I don't have no more drink. I'm just like trying not to lose it with my allergies.
I got about 6, 7 more books, and then we can wrap it up. I never would have been able to film the video without. I would have had to. Jesus, this would have been so long.
I'm back.
Okay, I was silently reading the comments. I don't know what exactly is going to change when it goes out of beta. I know one thing that I did email them as far as like feedback is concerned. I said that I would like if we could click on the author's name and get any information about that author, like other than the bibliography. So if I click here, I don't get anything. All I get is what Alexis Henderson has written. Oh, they got a title for the second book? Okay.
Oh.
I bet Goodreads has a cover already. I bet.
Yeah, Goodreads.
But yeah. I asked them to give us like some kind of little blurb. I was like, I like to read diversely, and I don't know anything about these authors. Just if I only use StoryGraph, I will have no way of knowing anything about the authors if I want to read diversely. So could you help us? And the person emailed me back and was like, thanks for the suggestion. We'll definitely work on it for after the first few months of beta. So I thought that was nice that they emailed me back within like 24 hours.
And what they say?
Yeah, they said they'd add it after the first few months of making sure it functions properly after it goes out of beta.
Okay.
I still need to read that one and The Long Way Down. I want to read both of those. Ashley, Light of the World came in for me a few minutes ago from Libby. And I think it's like a 2-hour audiobook, so I'm going to read that later.
Ashley over there having spicy dreams about Jason Reynolds.
You know it. Yeah.
She said, yes, for acknowledging my husband.
For sure, Shamla. Like, I really love Alexis Henderson's writing. Like, I think, was it Seiji that interviewed her for Night Friday? Yeah. And I really like what she had to say during that interview. And her writing's great. It's just, it's just the book.
Okay. Do you plan on reading more science fiction?
Yeah, so the book club I'm in, the only good book club, we're reading The Moon and the Other by John Kessel. Kessel? Is it John? Hold up. I got another hold that came in.
Wow, you really lighten it up.
Yeah, I mean, my watch keeps buzzing.
Yeah, like, living your best. Bing, bing, bug.
Let me get this author's name right. 1 second. I want to read. So I'm going to be buddy reading Lagoon by Nnedi Okorafor soon. with a friend of mine, and I'm just waiting on my hold for the audiobook to come in, and then yeah, The Moon and the Other, and his name is John Kessel, Kessel, and that's sci-fi. I don't want to read the synopsis, but that's what we voted on. I did read it originally, but I don't want to reread it because I like to not know what I'm getting myself into sometimes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think you will really like it. I think you'll like the writing for sure, Britt. I think that the other thing that I had a problem with. Oh no, I take that back. It's super oppressive. But I think you'll like the writing. I don't know. I take that back. I don't think you'll like it, but I think you should read it. Because you're a writer, I think you should see what's up with it. Yeah. She's the only Black girl in the whole book. Black person, if I remember.
Wait, Lagoon. What's
Lagoon
happening?
is Nadia Corfor.
I probably won't read it, but I support everybody else for reading it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm reading it because I saw that. Is that the one that Injury suggested for Evelyn from the Internets to read in their collab video?
Oh, I forgot the book.
I'm pretty sure that was the one. I think that's why I decided to pick it up.
Injury's in here, so.
Oh, is Injury still here?
According to what I'm seeing.
Okay. Yeah, it is, Yanni. Ashley, did you? I'm behind on comments, but did you suggest something for?
It was about Jason Reynolds.
Yeah, did she suggest something for Chloe to read?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well we're gonna get the ultimate stand to give us a two starter packs books for
not
Jason.
the 2 starter packs.
Yeah.
Oh, the. Are you getting to The Only Good Indians, or we already discussed it?
Oh, have I? I think I read it already, but we can talk about it. Are you here? Okay. You ready? What month did I read that book?
I think you did it before, so maybe
I feel
not.
like I did because that's how the book club came about. Is
the book club that you started?
Yeah, I was like, I either put it on Twitter or on my at the end of one of my videos. I was like, hey, if you want to read this book with me, come DM me and I'll get you in the Discord. And then we just sort of stayed a group after that. And I named the book club The Only Good Book Club. And so I've just been picking books since then.
Okay.
So this book was crazy. I don't know what month I read it, but we can talk about it now because I don't think I've talked about it. I had a whole idea that I told you about, I had to reshoot, and you were like, I would like to see that, if you remember.
Yes,
that's why I haven't talked about this on my channel yet, because I still want to do that.
Okay.
But we can talk about it now because I know most of these people have read this book that are here right now. Most of us. A lot of us have. For sure.
Man, I just kept it was just great. Like, I don't even know. It just reaffirmed a lot of the ways of knowings that I've been privileged of knowing from friends of telling me different things. And it was just this reciprocal thing of you do something terrible, it's coming right on around.
Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the day after, maybe not even this year.
May not even the next 10 years, but best believe you're going to get your due.
She ain't forgot.
She ain't forgot. So yeah, and then I just thought the last part of the book was so beautifully dragged out in
Yeah,
like the best way possible. Like
I loved it.
I
Like,
had to sit there because I was listening. I was washing dishes. I had to stop washing dishes just to sit at the kitchen table. Like
yeah.
I was just my roommates looking at me. I'm like, you don't even want to know what's happening right now. Like I was
Yeah.
just so immersed. It was crazy.
That scene, I think it was in part one, like close to the end of part one. 'Cause Lewis is the first one we
Lewis, yeah.
yeah, so I didn't like Lewis. Lewis got on my damn nerves, right?
On
But it in that part, there's a section close to the end of the first part where Lewis is starting to sort of figure out, like, oh, maybe this is it's time to pay the piper, I guess you would say. He starts to kind of lose it, and those scenes, the scene with the ladder and the light, that was my favorite. And then the one with the motorcycle, that was my second favorite. I was like, oh, that's gonna
yeah.
hurt. That's gonna leave a mark.
Listen. That deer was no, it wasn't a deer.
The elk-head woman?
The elk,
Yeah.
she was not messing around.
She didn't come to play.
But it also was like it was what from my understanding, what all four of them did was just bad medicine. Like it was just not my God. I just kept reading like, what did you do? Like
Okay, it's not. Is it a? I don't want to say. Let me read the synopsis real quick. Yeah, they don't say what they do in the synopsis, so I won't say what they do either, just in case somebody might feel like that's a spoiler. But to me, the big bad that they did was really bad, and not to say that they deserved what they got or whatever, but it was really bad. And in the eyes of, especially if you're looking from a tradition standpoint and just like the principles of what they were doing, the big bad that they did, you just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's something you don't do, even if you're not native, you don't do that. So I think that it was interesting to see like what karma felt like was the appropriate punishment for that.
yeah. And the fact that they still had it. So like
Yeah.
what I've been taught like from people that I know is that like even when you kill the animal, right? And you kill the animal, it's that you are still bringing piece of their spirit, the animal spirit with you. So it's like you're constantly having that animal spirit with you, and there are practices that you need to do to honor that spirit, like honor that being that was once alive, breathing and moving around. Right. And like the total disregard of that being and also that being's child. It was like, if you didn't think this wasn't gonna come back, like what? Like it just like threw me off.
I really enjoyed how deep we went into the psyche of both one of the guys in the group and the killer. I think we kind of went into the head of the killer, I think a little bit, and I want to say the part 3 part or the sweat lodge part, whatever part that was. I felt like we got some of the killer psyche in there a little bit. I just enjoyed it. I felt like I kept wanting to ask if Stephen Graham Jones was okay. Like when I read The Night of the Mannequins, I was like, something is up with him to be able to write this so well. I think one of the characters in Night of the Mannequins reminded me of Lewis in The Only Good Indians, and I was like,
"Oh, I haven't read that book." Yeah,
I
haven't read The Night of the Mannequins. Right now, I'm reading Mongrels.
Yeah. I've heard he said that's one of the books that he has a lot of him in it. I was reading or watching an interview on YouTube the other day, and he said it was mongrels and man, it'll come to me when I see the title. But there's 2 books that he feels like are like has the most of him in it, and mongrels is one of them, and I can't remember the name of the other one.
I'm gonna step out for a second. Okay.
Do it. Gotta do your auntie duties. Oh yay, Emma Ray, you read that. Okay. I really liked it. I think I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. Like, it really blew me away. I hadn't read a horror novel in a long time prior to that, so. Guys, yay, good. We'll see you soon. Okay. Yo, if you like The Only Good Indians, I think you'll like Night of the Mannequins. If you're familiar with one of the other reasons why that book hit me so hard is because it is set in a place not too far from where I live. So I know the town and I know some of the streets that were mentioned, and some of those areas. There's a tornado that comes through town, and in the book, Stephen Graham Jones makes that tornado take the same path as it did in real life. And so I happened to be out of town the night that happened, and so it just hit a little different. And I really like his writing. He's disturbed in the best possible way. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the main character is he reminds me a lot of Lewis, but I've forgotten his name. I have not read Mapping the Interior yet, but I had intended on getting it done before the end of the year. It's in my spot where I do the majority of my reading, so I will let you know which one I prefer. Yeah, it is creepy. I don't know if Stephen Graham Jones is okay. I really don't. It's disturbing. The shit's crazy. But if you like horror, I think you'll like it. I've been hearing a lot more talk of this book now, and my library finally got a copy. I think I'll pick it up sometime soon. Yay, I'm glad that you're listening. I know I do that sometimes for Ashley. I'll be cooking or something. Okay, so The Year of the Witching, I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't the book for me. It was fine. I liked Henderson's writing. Okay, so The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps. This is one I read for Black and Wiener-thon that it was this underrated. Did Bree have an underrated author prompt for the readathon? I feel like she did. Either that or I read it for the fantasy. Maybe I was trying to get double duty with this book. But I read this one because I really wanted to get to the second book in this series, which is A Taste of Honey. I had started A Taste of Honey and didn't realize it was a series or the second in the series. And so I backed out and got this. I have since given my friend my copy of this book because I really liked it that much and I wanted her to read it. I know this says 3.5 stars, but that's because it was so short and I wanted more, and I was kind of salty when I rated this book. Also, on Goodreads, they don't let you give half stars, and you can do that here. So let's go to my, oh yeah. I'll have to edit my review to change it. So you can do half stars on here, and I really appreciate that.
I mean,
you can just type it in, or you can do up to 0.25.
That's one of the biggest critiques with Goodreads is that you can't do that.
Yeah, so you can do 3.25 if I wanted to, 3.75, whatever. That's just It's really more of a 4-star. I'll change that later. Let me get back to my books. So anyways, The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps is about the main character whose name I've forgotten. Let me get back to his name. I'm so bad with character names, boy. I tell you what.
Same.
And I don't even have the book anymore. Okay, so
I'm always like that one person over there that the one with the long hair, the one
yeah,
in the back, the one who kissed old girl.
yeah. I want to kid it. Anyways, the main character's name is Domain. I feel like I also read this via audiobook, and I like the narrator. But so he's this. What's the best way to describe him? He's a sorcerer, but he's also like a guide, I guess you will, or he is guiding these people, this group of people, on a journey through the Wild Deeps. When the Wild Deeps is like this another dimension is the best way I can describe it. Like there's a path through this area where the Wild Deeps are. You could just imagine it's a forest, a big jungle. And so there's a path through the Wild Deeps. And if you step off this path into the Wild Deeps, you're kind of sort of instantly teleported to another world. You're still in the forest, but there's different types of creatures. You're safe on the path, so you want to stay on the path. When you get off the path, Domain can help you. If I'm remembering this correctly, sometimes fantasies sort of. No, I haven't got there yet. So anyway, the reason why I really like this one is because it was just a different cast of characters than I'm used to in my fantasies. So you just have a bunch of, it's kind of like a similar cast to the Rage of Dragons, if you will, but the main character is gay, and he is sort of in a down low situation with like the captain of this military bunch that he's guiding through the Wild Deeps. And so a lot of the story kind of talks about, more so than the things that they encounter on the Wild Deeps, is more about the relationships that Domain and the main captain guy have, and the way that the people that they're on this journey with sort of treat him. And my main criticism was, if this is a fantasy, then why did it have to be that the main character had to be in a clandestine relationship? I didn't understand why it had to be hidden. Like why he wasn't accepted, since he was this all-powerful being. Why was there homophobia? I just didn't understand the reason for it. Like, why were they judging him as a gay man in this fantasy book when he's this powerful thing? It just didn't make sense. And I think that's why I ended up giving it a 3.5. Because, again, these authors, they have the right to make the choices that they make, but that don't mean I have to like them. And so that's why I did what I did.
And that's that on that, and that's that on here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard me say that.
I don't know that scary is the right word, but it was definitely tense and weird and unsettling. And I had to definitely take breaks. I couldn't just read it because, yeah.
I read a horror like that recently.
Say again?
I read a horror like that recently.
Yeah. It's not scary, but I couldn't just, I was like, you know. Okay, so I did not get through my books that I read in November, and that's everything left here. So the McLean Brothers. 1. I read it all via audiobook. I loved it. It was great. It's not quite I've read more street books than this, but if you don't like street lit, you might not like this. But I really enjoyed it. It was my first Alexandria House situation. I can't wait to get to the rest. I also read the second one. Let's see where she is. There. The second one also all be an audiobook. I like both Big South and what's this guy's name in this one? Leland.
I feel like, is this something I should read? Because I always trust your romance.
Yes, I think you would like
situation.
it. I think you would like it. The
Okay.
first one, the main guy is a rapper, but not like he's an older, like he's been in the game for a while. He's got his businesses and his, big grown moves that he's making. So it's not like he's trying to be a rapper and make it big. He's already established. He's already got his money.
I like how one of your shelves is borrowed from Libby Library.
Yeah.
I might have to steal that if that's okay.
Do it. I like to know. Like, cause I own this, but I got the audiobook from Libby. So,
I own the physical copy and the audio version because I'm obsessed.
I should have bought we didn't talk about this yet, but I think I read that in November. So we can go ahead and get here. I have a whole video review coming for this.
See, my girl coming with the content that we all need.
I'm working on that, and I had a guest appearance that I won't spoil, but we will definitely see that soon. I'm working on editing it now. Sorry, Britt. There's your babies. I don't know if I like Leland or Big South better. I think I might like Leland a little better for the one from the number 2, but I like the first book better, if that makes sense. And I still need to read 3 and 4. I don't know.
Let me hold you. I'm right about it right now. I'm looking on Libby. Libby better not let me down.
That's where I got them from.
All 3 of them is on Libby.
All trio.
Yeah. All 3 of them is on Libby. Look at God. Available right now. Look at. Oh, that ain't right. I don't have the first one. I only have 2.
I mean, you don't have to read them in order, but
I didn't read them boy series in order.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people like Big South the best, but that might be just because he's the first. So, do what you do.
Okay. I can't stand you. You say do what you do. I will say this. Am I feeling a little inebriated?
Yeah. I mean, I wish that I had filled this glass up a little taller. But here we are.
When I took my break, I said, go ahead and live your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did.
Yes. Leland is grown.
Oh, even Lauren is about this life.
Yeah. Everybody's about that McLean Brothers life. I think you'll like it though.
Okay.
It's different from that other recommendation I gave you. That was a thriller, and that was something else.
No, I actually restarted it today, and I was in a better headspace.
Okay.
Like I told you, it just I know it. Sometimes I'd be like, "No, you gonna hate this shit."
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be like, "No, Bree, it's your mood.
Okay.
Let's take a little break and come back to it."
Okay, so Glory, I absolutely did not do this book justice by reading this via ebook. That being said, I still got to see all the pictures, and it was beautiful. I will own this book one day. I must have this on my coffee table.
Really?
It is beautiful, and it's just about.
Wait, did that say Amanda Seals?
I'm sorry?
Did that say Amanda Seals?
Yeah.
I am a huge stan of Amanda Seals.
Do you listen to her podcast?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's a picture book about Black hair in all its glory. She wrote the foreword, but it's and the author. What's her name? This is a husband and wife team, and they have a business. and just decided to highlight some of the things that they see in whatever they do. I forget what they are exactly. Just they put this together, and it's so beautiful. Listen, if you like to like hair and just history of hair, just how black hair can be made into so many different things and so many different colors. They come in naturally. Like there's natural redheads, natural blondes, just all of that. Naturally straight hair, naturally very kinky hair, different curl patterns. All of that was highlighted here, and I really got my whole life. I'm not sure how much this book would cost if I try to buy it, but I bet it's one of those big old coffee book tables. If it's not a giant, like huge format book, then it should be, because they need to be huge pictures so you can get all that.
Everywhere I'm looking is saying that it's out of stock.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I can imagine that. I think it just came out this year. Yeah. So it's beautiful. I gave it 4 stars. I mean, 5 stars, sorry. Did I do everything so far? We didn't talk about Black Sun yet, I don't think, or Bitterroot. Okay, let me get to what I read in December. So, the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. It was alright. It was fine.
Oh, don't tell me that. I just got it on Audible.
I mean, listen. It was fine. I feel bad. I feel bad because it was one of those. I don't feel bad. That's not true. I don't feel bad. But it was one of those YouTube darlings that I think it just suffered from the hype for me personally. Okay. It wasn't bad. I gave it 3 stars. 3 stars is not a bad rating for me. I don't know. It wasn't all that. The writing wasn't bad. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. Happy holidays. We'll see you later, Lauren. Yes, and there's 4 full McLean brothers, and then a novelette about the sister. In case your library.
I just yes,
Yeah.
I think I do have other library cards, so maybe the first one is others.
Okay, gotcha. I think you're talking about Glory here in Emory. But yeah, I think for sure there's a picture that I can see in my mind's eye with 3 little black girls with dresses on, and they have roller skates on, and it just I was just like, oh my God, could this get any more beautiful? This is everything. It was just, they have little afro puffs, and some of them have barrettes in their hair.
Yes, period.
If you're talking about the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, I say borrow it. Don't buy it.
Yeah, I bought it on Chirp Books.
I'm so sorry.
But I'm not tripping because Chirp Books, y'all, I love Chirp Books. Is where I get my audiobooks, because I do more audiobooks than I do any other thing. Mm-hmm. But Chirp Books always have great deals. Like they'll have this book. Like this book was available for 20 days for $3 on audiobook. So
that's not bad at all. No worries. Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah. I have My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. That was 100% a cover buy. I never even heard of Grady Hendrix before buying that book, but I just thought it was really cool. I have it on my other shelf because my books are segregated.
Really?
Yeah. For real, though. No, I did not see the new Wonder Woman movie yet. I am not hearing good things about it, though. No worries. I'm always off topic.
Last thing I saw about the new Wonder Woman movie is that it was offensive to the Jewish community.
I don't know. Who knows? There's a lot of people dragging it on my Twitter feed. So I don't know. Did I watch the first one?
I always feel like somebody is dragging something on Twitter, and I never find out unless like Ashley posts about it, or like somebody else. Like I don't know if I'm not following the right people who are dragging people or what's the situation, but I'm almost always late. Which shout out to Jess Owens' Bookstagram, BookTube page. Because I'd be like, give us the tea, sis, because
yes, me too.
I don't know what's gonna.
I don't think it's people that I follow necessarily actually doing the dragging. They were just retweeting other people, and it's showing up on my feed. But I didn't see what the problem was. It's just people making memes and like talking about how they're waiting on it to get good, and their skeletons and all of that. And I'm like,
that's a drag.
I don't care that much, to be quite honest. I'm not a Wonder Woman fan. I should be, but because we don't get that many female superheroes to begin with. But I just don't care.
Exactly. Yeah. Yannick said it perfectly.
Let's see.
I also heard that.
Okay, I heard that before the first one. I didn't know if the movie or if it was the actress.
It was the actress, yeah.
Okay.
Damn. I believe you,
In that first Green Lantern movie, was it Green Lantern? Yeah, Green Lantern and Watchmen had a movie as well that was like based off the comic book, if I'm not mistaken. And I could not get through the Watchmen movie. Like, it was confusing and boring somehow.
Like, how did they do that?
I don't know. It's a special talent, but they did it, and I hated it. Moving right on, Death by Dumpling. It's a cozy mystery. I think Miss Woman of Color or WOC reader is how I learned about this one. I really liked it.
I thought Ashley read that too.
I think she mentioned it. I don't know if she read it yet. She read it?
Oh.
Did you read this? Oh yeah, I've heard this. The show was better. That's the one with Regina King. Is that the right Regina? I think so. Regina King's in the show.
Man, I always say the wrong Regina, man. I ain't lying. I'd be like,
yeah. Yeah, and like the graphic novels, I think I have read one or two of the Watchmen comics and liked anything from DC. That's one of the things I did like because of what they are. But something about their live action, they just don't do it right. I don't know.
Some people just are not great.
Yeah. Yeah, Regina King. Okay. Yeah, I said it right. Oh, yeah, Emma Ray, you read it too. See, I really liked it. It was really good. So Death by Dumpling is by Vivian Chen. It's #1 in the Noodle Shop Mystery series, which is in the cozy mystery genre. And it was fun. It was a good time. I had, I read in like a few hours. I think the audiobook is maybe like 8 or 9 hours maybe. And I read it pretty quickly, like in 2 sittings. It wasn't super predictable, although I did predict some of it. Some of these mysteries are kind of formulaic. So we're getting into some of the books I read for in Digithon now. So Redbone, I enjoyed this. If you haven't read this and your library Hoopla has it, grab it. It was another thing that I just was scrolling through Hoopla, found it. I was interested by the cover and really, really enjoyed it. And I am I'm sorry to say that I didn't complete Indigathon because part of the challenges were to consume some non-bookish native something, and what I was going to do was listen to some of the songs that they had put out, Redbone had put out. Because one of them, I think I recognize the name, but now I tore the sheet where I wrote all my notes down, and now I've lost the notes with all the song names and stuff on it. So I'll just look up the name of the band, and then I should be able to figure it out from there. So yeah, this was a really good nonfiction graphic novel. One thing that I learned from reading this that I was just unaware of, it upset me, and I'm just kind of like upset with myself for not assuming this, but I was not aware that Native Americans were forced to go through assimilation school. Of course they were, right? But I just did not know that.
I mean, America doesn't do a good job in our educational system to let us know about its not so savory parts. Right. And we get taught this like imperialistic way of being, and that we are great and we've always been great, which is a lie, in my opinion. But even where I work in a building that used to be a Native American boarding school.
Wow.
So it's like there's not things that we get taught. That's not stuff that's just readily available to us.
Seriously, and to me, it borderlines on actively lying.
Borderline. It is actively lying.
Yeah, because like I don't know. I just would have really liked to have not been surprised by that, and it's upsetting. But anyways, the art style was not my favorite, but the contents and the writing were great. So if your library has that one, pick it up.
My libraries don't, but there's other ways to get it.
Yeah. Okay, so then I got Peer Pressure, I think, from Ashley. I'll just say this. I'm going to put this on Ashley, but I had no intentions of reading this book, and then Ashley raved about it, and I read it like in one sitting. I really, really love this. Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Nguyen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really good. It's about this girl, do not know characters' names. Ever. That's right, Ever. I think her name is Everett, and they call her Ever. But anyway, her parents are sending her to Taipei for the summer. They think they're sending her to this affluent summer camp, basically, is what I kind of figured out. And for her to get some culture and make some networking connections, I think, in Taipei, where they have immigrated from. And the writing was just so good. It reminded me a lot. They're very different books, but it reminded me a lot of American Panda by Gloria Chow. So if you've read Gloria's book, American Panda, and you liked it, you might like Love Boat Taipei. Even though they're different, the only thing that they have in common is both the main characters really love to dance. And so and they're both Chinese immigrants, or first generation Chinese immigrants. So I really enjoyed it, and if you like those teenage coming of age stories like that, you'll probably like that one. Bitterroot Volume 2, loved it. Read it too fast, really wanted it. Really wanted to savor it, and I ended up reading it in one sitting. It was really good.
You read all 6 issues? I mean, 6 to 10 issues?
Yeah, it has. Okay. Yeah. So it's like 150 pages or something. Oh no, 192 is right there. So, and then also in the volumes, a lot of times they'll put like sketches of what the characters look like before they were finalized, or like different drafts of the characters. And I find that fascinating how they sort of evolve to what they end up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So some of those, I'm saying all that to say some of those pages aren't part of the book itself. And then I read Black Sun with the Only Good Book Club. I gave this, it does not have a star rating there. Pretty sure I gave this 4 stars. I was disappointed with the ending. I felt like the ending was a little rushed. Well, rushed, is that the right word? I don't know, y'all. What did y'all think? Did you think it was rushed?
I didn't think it was rushed. I don't know. I thought it was okay pace.
I like the pacing of the whole book, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we got to this thing we've been working up to this whole book, right? We got to this final eclipse. And obviously an eclipse is not a slow event, right? It's something that happens fairly fast. But the way it was left, like the thing happened and then it's not even the thing happened and then we went to black. It's like the thing happened and then we spent a few little moments flying away and looking down at the rest of the scene. Like, I don't know. I either wanted it to just, the thing happened, boom, and black, and we don't know what the hell, or go give me all the way to the next day. If you're going to give me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't like that. I didn't like the ending that much.
Okay.
But I liked literally everything else about it. I liked that we had some non-binary rep. I love that we have some trans rep. I love the way that she, the setting of the world. I loved the time period, because I mean, when I say time period, I guess I'm more talking about the setting, because I don't know if I've ever read a book in a Mesoamerican setting before. Have
you read what is it called? Oh my God, it's by Silvia Moreno Garcia.
Mexican Gothic?
No.
The other one by her?
Jade of something. The Jade is in the word.
That is a Jade and Shadow.
Yes. No. So that has what you just said.
I'm gonna write that down. Hopefully I won't lose this piece of paper.
Yeah. I was like, why can't I think of the damn name?
Let's say Gods of Shade or Jade and something, right?
Jade of Shadow. Yeah, okay. Gods of Jade and Shadow, I believe.
Shadow. No, I have not read that. I haven't read anything by Garcia. I haven't read anything by them. But yeah. I liked it. I think I don't have a star rating right here. I can't remember. 4. I gave it 4 stars. That sounds right. I'm being picky with my 5 stars this year. I don't know.
I can't judge you, you know.
I don't know. Okay, what else did we read after Black Sun? The Last Olympian. The last book in the first series for Percy Jackson. It was okay. Okay, so here's one there has no tags that I should tag. I don't remember what I gave this one. It was okay. I say okay. I liked it. A lot happened. The pacing was good. The characters developed. The person that I didn't like in the first book, I still don't like in the last book. I don't know what that says about her character development, but I don't like her, and I think that's just how our relationship will be.
Yeah, I want to know more, but I also don't, because I haven't read it.
Have you started it? Well, you've seen the movies, but she's a different character, so I won't even.
Well, I think there's only 2 movies, right?
Yeah, there's 2 movies, but she behaves differently in the movie than she does.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I thought it was only 2 movies.
Yeah. It was fun. I liked it. I think I gave this. I think I in my ranking of my favorites. I think this was either the last or the second to last one. I don't want to spoil it because it's the last one, so I can't say too much about it. I don't even want to put the synopsis on the screen because if you haven't read the other ones, there's probably spoilers in the synopsis. How did I read this? I borrowed this from the library. Did I have an audiobook? No, I got this from Hoopla. Ebook. I don't know what star rating I should give it, though, if I'm being honest. I think I gave it a 3.5 or 4 stars because it certainly wasn't my favorite, but I didn't hate it. Got a video coming for that.
Wow. So you got a whole collection over there.
Well, see, now this is a duplicate because I read an audiobook. So when it imported it, it gave me, both the hardback and the soul.
Okay.
Let me delete this. Okay. Ashley read this. And I discovered that I need or want to like the female in a heterosexual relationship in a romance. Like that, if I don't like the female in the relationship, it like really hinders my enjoyment of the book. And I just didn't understand why this one was having such a hard time letting go. I'm talking about 12 Dates of Christmas by, how do you pronounce this name? Is it Rousey? I don't know how to pronounce this.
Rousey? Yeah, I'm probably the worst.
But yeah, I did not like the main character. She was so afraid of being hurt or being in a bad relationship. And we didn't understand why. Like, the book opens up with her being insulted by her ex. Like, I don't know if he called her fat or something, but it's like one of the basic insults that a dude will throw at you once you let them know that you're not into them. And like, I ain't gonna that ass anyway, or something like that, So I mean,
you said it in a spot on way.
It's like. And so I just rolled my eyes when we met him in the very beginning. It's like the first 2 or 3 pages. And I was like, fine, whatever. They broke up, whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. But she kept being so afraid of this dude who hadn't shown her any bad. Like, they were friends growing up. And he didn't do anything bad to her then. They separated because of her. Because she didn't want to whatever. Even though she hadn't been hurt yet. So they separated with their separate ways and they get back together and she's still scared. And I just did not understand, but she wasn't scared enough to have sex with him. She was just scared enough to like trust that these dates that he was taking her on.
He said what, Ashley?
She slept, she was okay with sleeping with them, which I'm never, ever, ever gonna sex shame somebody or slut shame somebody. Ever. Like, fine. But I need to make it make sense that you're you're holding your I don't know, whatever you hold dear, your heart, I guess you would say, is more esteemed than your sex organs. Like, I don't know, it just didn't make sense. Like, you sleep with them, you slept with them, and you want to keep sleeping with them, but you don't want to talk about why you're having trouble accepting his kindness and his dates. And it's just like, girl, please. He planned all 12 of these dates, and he said, I want to show you, I want to be with you, and then I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And he hasn't done anything in this whole book to make you think anything else. Nothing. We haven't been told anything other than this rude ass comment in the very beginning of the book. It was just a basic insult, like, I just didn't understand why she just could not lean into being with a good man. Not a good man, but like somebody who is literally doing the work to show you that they care and they're doing the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Putting in the work.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. And she got on my damn nerves, and I didn't like this. I didn't like it. Don't read that one.
You're like, and I'm completely over this.
So then I've seen Shane from Luxurious Blue talk about this, the Miller sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went to read the first one, which is called Love Effects, there's a little blurb in the beginning from the author that says, hey, you can totally read this first book if you want to, but you'll have a better time if you read the prequel first. So I went back and read this one. And it was super cute. I think if you like semi-street lit, you'll like this. Like if you like the McLean Brothers series, you'll like this. You'll like Kat Cole's writing. And you'll probably like this little novelette. Well, they call it a novelette, but it's 65 pages. I've seen them called novellas with less pages, but whatever. This one, it was good. I would, if you like street lit or like, not like office romance, not like a business guy. If you're okay with around the way guys, then you probably like this one.
Not around the way.
I don't know how else to describe it. I would say she's not really a hood girl, but I don't know.
She's doing something.
Yeah. But on that note, Motto of Flame is probably the most street book, the most hood book I have ever read in my entire life, and I loved every minute of it. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear me?
I need to add it. I need to go ahead and
it was crazy.
Try to find it then.
It was crazy. There are lots of plot holes because of the craziness. But I still liked it. I still read this. Probably the fastest book I read all year. I was like, Ashley, can you believe this? Oh my God, Ashley. What? Ashley, that ending. Bruh, I wasn't ready.
Did Ashley read it too?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember which one of us started it first. I feel like I started it first and she finished it before I did. But we were talking about
giving you that life.
Yeah, it's entertaining if nothing else. So, but if you don't like, drugs and all of that, don't read this. Don't pick it up so you don't have to give them a bad rating, because just don't do that. Next, this was a late fave of mine, Arcade and the Triple T Token. I definitely heard about this from Miss WOC Reader. She did a bookish gift blog on her blog, and or bookish gift list, I think it was. And you 100% did. I think you kicked me off one of your live shows to go finish the book. But yeah, Arcade and the Triple T Token. I really love this. This was like so much little black boy joy in one little book. I think it was a 6-hour audiobook. And so this book is about this little boy here. His name is Arcade, and he is at the library minding his business pretty much when he gets a random lady pops up with a token and doesn't explain it. She just puts it around his neck, and then adventures sort of ensue after that. And my favorite part about this was the fact that he is a little book nerd, and they talk about like most of their journeys most of their adventures throughout the book either start in the library or behind reading a book. And I really enjoyed that. One of my favorite middle grades, if not my favorite, I don't know, Ghost Squad and the Jumbies were pretty close. Those are my top 3 middle grades for the year. This one, Ghost Squad, and the Jumbies. I think I really enjoyed the fact that this one didn't have there was no sadness, like no dead grandparent that they were mourning or nothing like that. It was just all good and all fun and all nice. Okay, so the last book that I've read so far this year was Santa's Helper by Shay Sanders. It's another quick little romance novella that I just ate up. It was so good. It's my first Shay Sanders book, and it's a friends to lovers, or would you say friends to lovers? I don't know. They knew each other in high school, and then they kind of went their separate ways. No hard feelings or nothing. And then they meet back up in adulthood, and
they like, what up?
Yeah. So it was really cute. I gave it 4 stars. I would recommend it, and I'm going to read some more by Shay Sanders ASAP. Oh, it might be. Are we talking about Arcade and I haven't read The Starless Sea.
Why do I feel like I read The Starless Sea?
I don't know.
Let me Google it.
Yeah. That's definitely what I liked about it. It was fun. Yeah. And his sister, he had both parents in his life, and his sister was not mean to him. She was really supportive and helpful and caring, and he had friends. There is a slight content warning for a little bit of bullying from like one of his classmates tries to make him do a project for him, and it works out, and I like the way it was addressed, but there is that in there.
Okay.
Just FYI.
I did read The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstein.
Yeah.
I read the book before that, and I loved it. I didn't love The Starless Sea as much as I loved the book before.
Okay.
I'm blanking on what the book before was.
Oh yeah, you finished it. I'm so glad you finished it. She read Arcade too. I was like, Ashley, read this. Ashley, it's so good. Read it. I want to read that. I'm worried that the writing will be a little too flowery for my taste.
What, The Starless Sea?
Yeah.
No. So my biggest critique about The Starless Sea is that I felt so the author has a gift of describing things, like describe it so much that you're able to easily see it in your brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I felt like that book. Hold on, I'm trying to think of the book I read before. However, that book, I felt like we didn't need all that. Like it just went a little bit too deep for me.
I tend to not enjoy those books like that.
Yeah.
Well, when the writing's like that.
Yeah. So The Night Circus was fucking amazing. That's what I read. Okay. I was like, I think it's The Night Circus, but I didn't want to say that. Yeah. Then I fucking love The Night Circus. Okay. And I was like, oh yes, give me the details, lady. Yeah. But for The Starless Sea, I was just like,
yeah.
I just didn't feel like the way the plot and the world was set up that we didn't need all that extra shit. Like it was just, it was more about the world than the characters, I felt like. And when I feel that a book is doing that to me, I gotta head out.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
I'm just checking to make sure that that was the last book that I read so far. That's Bay. I think he's playing video games. This might be my cue to get the hell off of here. No, you're still here, Aaron. I think we've talked about this. So yeah, I think
that's in this house.
Huh?
Yeah, that's happening in here.
Oh, okay. I just heard baby.
Yes, the ice cream man.
I saw that.
Yes, the ice cream man.
Okay.
All right
Real
now.
quick,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you what you're reading right now.
I feel attacked by that.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Not really. I think in the beginning I told you I'm reading a bunch of shit and haven't finished it. So Seth is the last book that I haven't finished from Them Boy series. It's due tomorrow. So that means I'm gonna have to try to finish that today.
that's what Red is. That Ja and
And
yeah. Okay, I like those covers.
yeah, them covers,
Yeah.
man. They really stepped it up there. So Mongrels, I just added Let Me Hold You by Alexandria House. Oak Flat, A Flight for Sacred Land in the American West. I'm reading Percy Jackson, Big Magic, Winter Counts, The Sound of Stars, A Leaf by Paulo Coelho, and Now She's Gone, A Promised Land by Barack Obama, 40 Acres, Outfox by Sandra Brown, Moby Dick, and
Sandra
Dearly.
Brown, is that like she's like the Nora, excuse me, I shouldn't say that, but she writes like mysteries and stuff like that. Or is it thrillers or
I think she write romance mysteries.
Okay.
But she
Like her and Nora Roberts have been around for about, I want to say around the same amount of time because I see them at the grocery store next to each other all the time.
They probably beefing on the low. You know,
probably. Let me not do that. I bet it's them and Danielle Steele just like maybe they side eyeing each other like what?
Yeah, so those are all the books on Libby.
Oh,
but if I show you my physical copy, that's what I was saying. Like I just have a bunch of books opened.
I didn't mean to do you like that. I really didn't.
No, it'd be like that. It's just I just hope that I finish at least one of those before the year is over.
Well, I'll expose myself too since we're here.
I'll expose
Literally, since we've been on this live, I've gotten 2 of my hoes come in. So
yeah,
I haven't started them obviously, but
gotta get them hoes.
Another by John Kessel. Gonna be starting that in January, and then I got Kwame Alexander, Light for the World to See, just came in.
Mm-hmm.
That's another Ashley recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got The Grown Up by, is it Gillian Flynn or Gillian Flynn?
Gillian Flynn, I think.
Gillian Flynn? Okay. So that's a short audiobook by them that I have. I started this book called Finna by Nate Marshall the other day, and I could tell that it was about to slap me around a little bit. So I put it down just because I was not in an emotional headspace. Like it's emotional book, I believe. It just felt like it was starting to, come from my neck a little, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready at all.
I feel like it's coming from my neck a little bit. So
yeah, I wasn't ready. Braiding Sweetgrass. It's due in 7 days. I need to start it.
I need you to finish that book or I will harass you.
Okay. All right. So I'm not even going to mention the rest on there. But then I have Vampires Never Get Old. I'm enjoying this. I don't like the fact that the editors, it's an anthology. I don't like the fact that the editors pop in after every story.
Yeah, you put that on Twitter. I added it to my anthology list.
I'm so far I'm into the 3rd story and they're great. I'm loving how they're reimagining vampires and like not even just reimagining, what a vampire is per se, but like how we interact with them and some of the rules of the vampire game. I'm really enjoying that. But I don't need to hear from y'all. This is not mystery theater. I don't need your commentary. I mean, I know like they wrote a note in the beginning. There's going to be a note at the end. I don't need to hear from them I'm sorry. It's irritating me.
No,
Throw
I
me off.
mean, I feel you. I didn't even know that's a route that anthologies take. Like I thought the person who edited it gives you, the rundown about what you're about to get into to a certain extent. Say
Yeah,
their little piece about who they is, and then that's it. They might come in the back end, but
yeah.
it's usually just. But if they're coming in giving their 2 cents, it's like, have a booktube channel if that's what you feel.
This is what Twitter is for. And both of these people have a Twitter because I follow them. So I didn't need it. I didn't need their commentary dispersed throughout. And then I'm reading The Dark Fantastic.
Oh,
Um,
Nalo Hopkinson.
I'm sorry?
Is that Nalo Hopkinson?
No, this one is by Ebony Elizabeth Thomas. This is a nonfiction book.
Okay.
And the other part of the title is Race and the Imagination from Harry Potter to the Hunger Games. And when I tell you that I read this introduction and I was like, oh, this is one of those books where I just wanna highlight the whole page so far. I'm only on like page 27, right? And I'm in this chapter 1, and I'm already like, sis, can we be friends? I would like to email you and let's talk about this personally. Can we talk on the internet in real time about this book? I'm only on page 27. So I'm excited for that. It's been really good so far.
Yeah.
I have some other books checked out, but I left them downstairs accidentally. So
Yeah, I mean, so 2 of the physical copies I'm reading are very long. So the first one is, I think it's like The 7 Deaths of Marlon James or something about that. So I'm reading that. One, it is extremely triggering. There's like
I'm
a
gonna say
trigger
not hard to get through because I've had a friend read that and they had a hard time.
I didn't realize how triggering it was going to be. It's like almost every sentence is like a trigger warning. So be careful for that. And I've only read like 30 pages. I'm taking the slow read route with this one.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that. And then I think that book is like 600 and some pages.
Yeah.
And then I started, reading Barack's book. I'm listening to it. And then my nephew gave it to me as a gift for Christmas. So I'm hybrid reading it. There we go. A Brief History of 7 Killings. It's very interesting. But yeah, so that's what it's called. And then Barack, Obama, sir, brevity is key. So, I mean, he said that too in the beginning, like he could have made the book shorter. It's definitely dragging along, but I'm appreciating him talking about his life and decisions he made and his outview and not outview, what is it, worldview and all those other things. But it's just like so long. So
yes. Did y'all hear that?
No.
Okay. I have to get off of here because Bay is becoming unraveled. He's like, you've been up there for 2 hours. I haven't been quiet for most of it.
It's become unraveled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did Emma?
Do you know your camera went out?
Yeah, I turned it off.
Okay.
I had to pick my nose. I'm sorry.
Hey.
You put me on blast, Bree.
No, because you were saying like, tell me if your camera go out. Remember?
Oh yes, thank you. I did say that. I take it back. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Dang. Oh yes. It was Aaron. I was looking for another name. Aaron. It's so good. Like I am gonna buy it before I finish it. So.
Dang. Yeah.
I'm really into it. All the nonfiction books that I've read this year have really slapped. So I'm patting myself on the back for that.
Yeah, I'm adding that, or I'm adding that book. I was trying to find it on my phone, but then my phone said I'm gonna head out. So it decided to die.
I found the audiobook on Hoopla, but
you keep telling me about Hoopla. Like
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep it because it's free, $99. I thought where it's free, there is Bree, and I'm just trying to follow the scripture. I can't breathe. just trying to follow the scripture, the word. But yeah, I borrow both of these.
I'm just trying to follow the scripture.
I'm just saying.
You ain't wrong.
Oh, okay. So this one you would say Yanni had good Caribbean rep. I'm that's how I'm taking this statement, but
yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, I'm not culturally connected, but
yeah.
I have my aunt married a Jamaican man, so they like really took me underneath their wing. So how that part of my family like talks and like how language is transcribed fits very on par of what I've read.
Okay, that's nice to know. That's good to know. I don't know if it's something that I will pick up just because.
Oh, it's dark.
I don't know if I'm ready, but I have heard good things about it. That's Marlon James, or what's his name? Marlon something.
Marlon James, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, "Whoo, they really ain't messing with us today."
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to find it on StoryGraph because I couldn't find it anywhere.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me and helping me poke around on StoryGraph. And I'm definitely sorry I missed the end of your live, but here we are. We made it. We're current. I haven't finished, and these two will probably be the last 2 books I get done, and maybe the manga that I started, but that'll probably be it for this year.
None of those books in Libby?
Maybe. Maybe. Those are audio. I mean, I only have audiobooks checked out right now besides those. And I have audiobooks for those. Not the vampires one. But so it's a possibility. I've been doing a lot of crafting and stuff here lately. I'm trying to prepare to make a vision board. So I've been like clipping stuff and like getting ideas of how I want it to look and what I want to put on it. And
speak your truth, you know.
We're getting our things together.
We're getting our things together.
Yeah, the last quarter has been rough.
It's been real rough. Yeah.
I still do not have a job. I've been applying. I've got an application. I mean, I've got an interview in person, a second interview this coming up week. I should have brought my evil eye up here, but so we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray on that one, and
Granny says claim it.
Yeah, and I think it will be good job if I do get it. But see, me being busy helps me stay on task. Like when I don't have anything to do or no schedule, I'm just too loosey-goosey with my time. Like I'm napping. I'm waking up at like 4. I'm taking a nap at 6 a.m. And so it's real conducive to like regular living. It's just not.
It's too loosey-goosey for me.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. I've just never been unemployed this long, you know? I just really haven't. I don't know what to do. Thank you, Erica.
Listen.
Thank y'all.
I'm just saying, like, all the work you're putting in.
Yeah.
You'll get what you need.
Right. I mean, I'm sure that people who are, y'all, we talk and what I'm doing and what I'm going through. So it's not like I'm just not doing anything, but it might look like that if if we don't talk. So but I've been around.
I do want to say one last thing to you though, but I think as Black people, we have done a lot in this country. Our ancestors have been through a lot. So I think although it fucking sucks to not have a job and not know what's going to happen tomorrow, it's important that you fucking rest because we need those naps.
That's where I'm at.
You
I've
know,
had a job since I was 15, okay? And it's not just because, I wouldn't grow up poor or nothing like that, and there's nothing wrong, I'm not saying anything. I just always wanted my money,
yeah,
And so I've always just went to work, and that's just kind of how I've been taught. It's like, if you want money and you want nice things, you work, right? And so I got laid off. If I hadn't got laid off, I would still be working there. You know what I'm saying? So I have taken this time. I was mad at first. I was mad.
big mad.
Ooh, I'm so mad. But now I was like, thankfully, I don't have to be around all those Trump supporters who they were denying that it was a thing in the beginning before I even got laid off.
Right.
I was like, oh, hey, there's this big thing going on. Do you think we could get I was buying the hand sanitizer before, like, nobody was even thinking about it. I've been supplying the hand sanitizer for that place. Finally, it was like, Deidra, you don't have to buy the hand sanitizer. And I was like, I can't tell. Where's the hand sanitizer?
I can't tell. Ooh.
So anyways, woosah, but like, I've just never been unemployed this long. And I've sort of leaned into not working. I've seen how that can just really make you so lazy. Like, it can make you so lazy. And I needed the break. I'm thankful for the fact that I didn't have to be around people all day, every day, and just like in the middle of a pandemic, on top of the voting, on top of the protests, on top. So I'm thankful at the end of the day. But now I'm ready to not only make some more money, because unemployment it's really not livable, but thankfully I have a fiance, and our incomes combined have helped held us through. But some of my friends who are single and doing it on their own and unemployed, I pray for you. I don't know, especially if you're drawing unemployment. But if you're working on your own, it's a whole.
Yeah, I don't recommend being single.
I mean, I recommend doing whatever you like. You know what I'm saying? But like during this pandemic and being unemployed, if I didn't have my partner, I just really don't know. I would be homeless, or I'd be back in my parents' house.
Yeah.
Bottom line, there just wouldn't be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way to save your way out of poverty, y'all. I don't know. I don't care how many times they say you can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm very thankful for my parents and Bay, and I'm glad that I got this second interview, and hopefully
that's you. They hiring you. I've already claimed it.
It's me, and so you'll get to see me a lot more, because when I'm busy, I feel the what's it called, inertia, when we're already in motion. Yeah, so that's what I get that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. It really has worked. I don't think I would be in a good headspace if I was working through this whole thing. So I'm very thankful that I got laid off, Even it sucked in the moment. It sucked.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, if he could just go ahead and sign that stimulus.
I'm ready for my account to say $602.57. Amen.
$600.15. Okay, I mean, it's gonna be the first. That's what I can't y'all act like y'all don't know the rent is due on the first of the month. Okay, we just had Christmas, and even if you don't celebrate Christmas for whatever reason, you probably still either got or gave a gift or something, especially if you're in America. It's just how we are set up. It's just set up like that, regardless. So they've had jobs this whole time. They've had insurance this whole time. They're all going to get the doggone vaccine, even though I don't want the vaccine right now. I don't feel like they know enough about it, but I'm fine with them being the guinea pigs. But they've been talking shit about it this whole time, and we see them going to get it, right? And they've had the job the whole time. So I'm just so over it,
Yeah, I mean, every time someone like, like I say that my family, they're not trusting this vaccine, and people are like, why? I'm like, Tuskegee, Henrietta Lacks, syphilis. This country has a history.
They named it. They named it
So
Operation Warp Speed. First of all, I think that was the main thing that really just put a bad taste in my mouth. Like, what medical, like, warp speed some cancer cures. Don't warp speed this vaccine. You know what I'm saying? Like, fine, it turned out to be fine, and I guess it's fine, and we don't know really. We really don't know. We think it should probably be okay. But like, vaccines are fine, and I get all of this. But the point is, all previous vaccines up until this point have gone through years and years and years of testing. So when you name it this one for this very deadly virus, when you name it Warp Speed, and then you have all the things that Bree just mentioned, like the Tuskegee experiment and Henrietta Lacks, when you put those things together, it's off-putting, whether it's right or wrong. It's off-putting. And so I
think it's just like I
it's
think
just
Yanni, I think in the US, Yanni, that there's just so much distrust of the government.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's use of trying to find cures and stuff, and using BIPOC bodies as a engine to do those things. So when BIPOC are given the choice to take a vaccine, even though it's a very life-threatening, situation such as COVID-19, BIPOCs are like, what? Not every BIPOC. I'm not going to say every person of color is like that, but it just makes people distrustful, and they like, nah, this is not where I want to go. So I think because in the US we've been given so many different viewpoints, and like different news outlets is saying all different stuff. So people just are scared and don't know what to believe. And they tell us one thing and then tell us another thing. So people are like, are these vaccines fine? So maybe like where you're at, you've got it very streamlined. It was very easily, digestible. But here in the US, that is not how it's being presented to us.
Yeah, this part, I mean, that may be true, and I certainly hope it is, but they named it Operation Warp Speed. So what I'm supposed to do with that? Like, why they want me to believe that it happened fast. So, I mean, I think the other thing that I read, was it this year? It might have been the end of last year. It's a book called The Radium Girls. And that's about these women who worked in...
I thought you said you were in the Caribbean.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I was reading Yannick. I thought Yannick said they were in the Caribbean. Maybe I misunderstood.
Think they're from the Caribbean. They live in Chicago now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But I'm just saying, in Minnesota, in Texas, and in Louisiana, the states I've been in, the information has not been succinct.
And I think they work in the medical research field too, so they kind of have a different viewpoint from maybe me and you, or like maybe the average.
I'm definitely taking it. I'm definitely taking. I'm immune compromised. I'm taking the vaccine. I'm immune compromised.
Oh yeah, like I think everybody's.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
I think everybody that I'm talking to is like, they just could have done a better job with marketing it. Words mean things. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like we're just pulling this worry out of the clear blue sky and we don't have a history of this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, why warp speed? That's the thing. Yeah, it's like, why warp speed?
Yeah. Why? I mean, they mean things, and it just gives a bad connotation regardless of the validity of it. Anyway, I was getting to a point, I really do have to go. Radium Girl. It's about, I forget, I think it was World War I, where they're using what's it called? I've forgotten what it's called now. Uranium. They're using it to paint on gadget valves, watch hands, and the equipment in anything that has a dial that may need to glow in the dark. They were painting uranium on these things because that's before we had glow in the dark paint. We used literal uranium, right? I know I talked about this book on this channel, but the point is this uranium is radioactive. It's super radioactive, right? We know that now in 2020, but they didn't know this then.
Yeah.
And these women were starting to have all kinds of health problems. They all worked in the same type of plant. They were all exposed to this material. And yet, especially here in America, they were just, they didn't get any help. They weren't taken seriously. And these were white women for the most part that had these jobs. So if they're treating, these women are the reason why we have OSHA and HIPAA and things like that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally because of what happened to these people working in these radium factories, I guess you would call it, or uranium factories. I forget the name of them. They had a name, but they didn't allow colored people to work there. You know what I'm saying? So to let that happen to white women, and that happened in history. There's a real thing that you go up and look up, and how many people died behind working that job, and just how long it went on before they got the help. Like their estates, a lot of these women's estates had to get the money that ended up coming from the lawsuit. So if you just look at how the history of what the United States does in some of these situations, our hesitancy is, you can see why we're hesitant, But not to say yeah,
I'm literally talking to myself again. I was
I'm
on
sorry,
mute
were you muted?
again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever. It's done.
Yeah. I guess that's what it was supposed to be, but that's just not how. I don't think anybody took it that way. not anybody, but there was too much room
to people that
interpretation, or I don't know what the word is. I don't have the correct words, but
no,
I just
it's
think
too much room for interpretation. When you heard warp speed, did they just say this is Operation Warp Speed and that was it?
Yeah. Anyway, so it's just been so weird. This whole year has been an anomaly. I think I don't think I'll be able to compare like my reading to another year. I don't think I'll, you know what I'm saying? Like I've just not worked this whole for 90 or let's say 80% of this year. I haven't worked.
Yeah.
So, I've had nothing but time to read. So if I get this next job, who knows, how that'll affect my reading. But I'm still going to be reading what I want to read. I'm still going to be reading fantasy.
Still take those naps.
Yep.
Still take those naps. Still rest. Listen, I followed the nap ministry on Instagram, and it's the best thing. One of the best things I've ever done. So nap.
Yeah.
So provided.
Oh yeah, I remember that you were
on other fields. I typically work.
Yeah, I think in that year or in this book they were painting. They used to use, if you've seen old school military movies, you've seen those glow in the dark dowels, and they have a very distinct look. But they used to literally use uranium for that as a paint because it glowed in the dark. They didn't have any other glow in the dark materials. So they would dip their paintbrush in this literal elemental uranium and then put it in their mouth and then dip it back in the uranium to shape the brush. And so they were getting this, like consuming it directly. Like their jaws were literally falling out. Like some of them were just, it was graphic. If you don't like body horror, you might not read it, but like, it was rotting them. They were radioactive. Like they would walk the street at night and they would say, there's the radium girls, because they were literally covered in this powder and they were glowing in the dark at the club. Like they would go to work in their club outfits so they could get the radium dust on them so they could go to the club and you could see, there's the girl. Because it was like a high paying job. So they had money. You know what I'm saying? It was like a social, what's the word? A social status to be a radium girl. Meanwhile, it was killing them the whole time. It was, if you haven't read it, I think it's by Kate Moore is the author.
No, I've seen the cover of the cover of it.
Radium. I think I've seen uranium, but I do mean radium.
I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what book we were talking about until you hit the last part, and I was just like, "Holy shit, damn!" Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I got the energy for it right now. Maybe later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe later.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all. Let me go. I'm probably gonna need to eat again and see what's up. Bree, we'll have to do this again sometime.
Yes. Hopefully, when I'm not literally dying over here. Like I hate it when my allergies flare up like this because I feel like shit.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you feel
No,
bad.
it's not your fault. It's my allergies being like, let's fuck shit up.
We should talk about it. I think it's Kate Moore. I did say uranium, but I did mean radium. Sorry. Okay, y'all. We'll see you next time.